As usual.
as is
As
customary.
usual.
Although if you were here earlier in my Marvel Rivals stream, then you possibly know why. Although I did leave that stream to go film something for some other work and then finish that and then change and then now I'm eating salad and we set this up. So hello to you all.
Wow.
Hello to you all.
Hello to you
Hello.
all. If you have been here before, then you know who we are. But if you have not, get ready because we're about to tell you about it. My name is Amanda, and this is my channel. I am a streamer, a YouTuber, a actor, a cosplayer. I do a lot of cool stuff. I do maybe too many cool things.
So many. Simply so
Some
many.
might say. And tonight, welcome back to Carlo, welcome back Rapala. And tonight, this is our indie RPG stream that we do, that I do with my friends Kurt and Anthony. We are the stream team. Yeah, but if you know me from streaming, then you know I do other things. I'm a variety streamer, so this is one of many. But it is one of my favorite things that we get to do. It's so fun, and I'm so happy that you're all here with us. So, hello. Kurt, would you like to introduce yourself?
I would. Hi, folks. My name is Kurt. I am an RPG player, designer, lover of all things storytelling, and I am very lucky to join Amanda pretty much every week to do this. Tell a little story with you folks. Anthony, who the heck are you?
Hi, I'm Anthony. I am a lifelong RPG player, an author for kids. I love stories of all sorts. I got so jazzed for this that we were about to do that I sat here in front of my computer yesterday and I made up stories just by myself, just tipple-tapping them out. And I felt like, some people might call that writing, but for me it was really like, I'm just going to do what I do with those two, but I'm just going to do it right here because I can't wait.
Do it
That's so
solo.
cute.
That's super cute. Did you write? Was there anything that you wrote that you were like, wow, this is really good?
Yeah, so I was actually pretty pleased. I've been kind of rusty. I haven't written creatively for a little while, and the stuff that came out, I was like, heck yeah, I like it.
Nice.
We'll see how it feels, like a day afterwards. Usually, like my pattern is I love what I wrote, and then the next day I look at it, I'm like, wait, I'm terrible at writing, and then 3 months later, I will like it again. So, there's ups and downs.
Fair enough. Yeah, I am very excited to be here, especially for this game, which I feel like looks like it's going to be really fun.
Yeah. Have we said what game we're playing yet? We say it?
Well, I
Not
mean,
yet.
it's on the
screen
overlay.
says it.
The screen gives it away.
All right. It says it down there. Okay. It's not a big secret. But Kurt, what game are we playing tonight?
We're playing a game called Goblin Market, which was developed by a variously credited individual, but you can find more of their work on their itch.io page. We will link it inside. This is a game which is about the blurred lines between the mortal and fey realms every solstice and the Goblin Market that is held there, selling goods and easing that transition. We are going to be drawing cards and then using them to prompt the next part of a story, making characters together, telling a little tale, and it's going to be a good time.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I guess I should say, I never say this, so maybe I should. Almost every game we play on this channel, folks, is a one and done affair. You do not have to have any context for anything that happened before or after this stream. It is this stream and this stream alone.
We should say that more. We never say that, but yeah, pretty much everything that we play is like, you can come in each week, you could miss a week, you could miss a few weeks. You can always come in and you're not going to be like, I don't know what's happening in this because it's been a million episodes of this one story, because these are we're like the short story ttrpg streamers, basically.
Yeah, we're the ones who don't have enough attention span to play a game that lasts for more than one session.
Novellas only, not fantasy novels.
I feel like that can't be true though, because we also do gather pretty frequently together, so like we could totally do, I know I'm always the one that says this, but we could totally do a campaign. We just are like, there's so many. We have done a campaign. This is true.
We have.
Twice.
No, that's true. One of them was a secret just for us, but that's true.
Secret campaign. But but I will say that I love that we just do these single games because it feels like you just get to play so many more games, and then
I love it.
and then there's so many that I'm like, oh, I just want to play a campaign of this. Maybe one day we will.
There will be more. I promise we will play more campaigns. Nitrim, hi Peter. Nice to see you. And Danny, Ticket to Ride rules. Ticket to Ride is a great game. Fully deserves its 2004 Spiel des Jahres win. Can't believe it's been 2 decades of celebrating Ticket to Ride.
Ticket to Ride is a great game. Is there a Ticket to Ride RPG yet? Have we done that? Does that exist?
We've done one train game, but it was space train.
Space train.
Oh, true,
yeah.
true.
Also, yes, Peter, it is games night tonight. It is ttrpg, indie RPG night. So we are playing a game, and yeah, this game, it looks super cute. It is called Goblin Market, and yeah, we're gonna get into it. As always, I know nothing. But I think Kurt knows everything. Anthony,
I do.
Have you played this game before?
I haven't, but I did read the PDF in about 2.5 minutes before we started playing, before we started the stream. So, you know, I'm
prepared.
Yeah.
Kurt, have you played it before?
No.
Okay.
I first heard of it at 6:45 p.m.
So you buy goblins, says DiCarlo. I don't know if we buy goblins.
Not to my knowledge. I don't think it's that kind of market of goblins.
I think it's more like the goblins like run the market, is my guess, based on the title.
Hi Daniel. Hi Lanique.
But I'm not an expert like Anthony or Kurt. I haven't read the book. I just opened it and saw the art on the front, which is super cute, by the way.
It's super cute.
And also, apparently, the art was what inspired the game.
That's my guess. All I know is that the game was designed for a game jam called Rackham Jam, and the artist's name is Arthur Rackham, who does, I think, like classically a lot of like paintings of like fae and goblins and sort of folk creatures. So I'm guessing that the art was the inspiration.
Check it out. Look at it. Look at this art. What do you think?
It was actually hosted by the person who made this game, so they're also the jam organizer.
Oh, wow.
That is a lovely service
cool
to provide. Which is on my mind right now because I'm actually also running a game jam for Majora's Mask inspired tabletop role-playing games. So give that a search if you want to make or see a bunch of Majora's Mask inspired tabletop games. There's some really, really cool stuff that people have made.
That has to be one of like the top 5 most Kurt things that's ever happened.
Impulsively starting an elaborate, involved community organization event about games.
Especially about games. Zelda games.
Yeah, it's pretty on the nose.
Right? See?
Pretty on the nose. But that's not what we're doing today. Today we are playing Goblin Market. So Anthony, I think you have the rules open at this very moment.
I do.
Could I ask you to read out the first paragraph in Introduction?
Introduction. Every solstice, the veil thins between the worlds, merging mortal world with fey realm. Some time ago, the goblins started a market on the solstices to encourage friendship, trade, and storytelling between the worlds. Play to get to know your characters, meet fey beings, and ultimately decide where you belong.
There we go.
All right.
I would ask Amanda and Anthony if you could both open that playingcards.io link that I sent in our...
We are not sponsored by playingcards.io, but...
That is true. Although Amanda and I did use it last fortnight to play a game as well. It is an exceptionally useful tool.
It's pretty cool.
And I really don't know how it runs. I don't think there are ads. I don't really get it.
The generosity of someone.
I'm deeply grateful. Maybe I should donate to playingcards.io.
Maybe we should all donate to playingcards.io. They've given us so much. Also, Atomic Sorcery, thank you for the posture check. And Theory304, thank you for subscribing over on YouTube.
Appreciate it.
Sweet.
The playingcards.io site has a warning choking hazard, small parts at the bottom of their website.
We have been hit with a posture check and a hydrate request, so
Ooh.
Hydration. The problem with the posture checks is that if I get my posture too good, I leave the screen. So
Ooh, too
I'm
tall.
gonna have to stay
problems.
slumped. Yeah.
Yeah.
that is the challenge.
You can do like a little posture check.
That
It's
water
just a
jug
wee
is
one.
crazy, Amanda.
Oh yeah,
It's so big.
Have you not seen this yet?
I don't know. I haven't registered it.
Oh, maybe
I like that it has a little desert on it.
yeah. I got a compliment from a little girl the other day. I
Which
was
is the
at
best
Tim.
kind of compliment to get.
It was pretty cool. I was at a Tim Hortons, and this little girl just was like staring at my water bottle because I was carrying it because I was out on a walk, and I stopped to get a sandwich, and she came up and was like, I was like, oh hi, because I just could see that she was staring at it, so I'm like, she probably has a question. Whoa, DiCarlo, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs.
Whoa.
I'm gonna owe you 5 wheel spins in a minute. Once we
I
get
was gonna
started.
say.
That is some spins of a wheel.
Whoa! We are in a hype train, a level 2 hype train. We're on our way. If you guys want to throw any subs, if you want to throw any bits, if you want to just continue to be your cool selves, any of those things that you want to do, it's a good time. Primarily to sub, gift, or use bits, though, because it does get us up in the hype train. The higher up we get, the more that Twitch promotes us, and also you get emotes and stuff. It's pretty fun. Thank you so much, DiCarlo. You did not have to do that. Thank you. Smashed the sub goal. Smashed it with a hammer for today. But yeah, so she came up to me, and then she was like, oh, this water. She was like, oh, like, what is that? And I was like, oh, it's a water bottle. And she was like, oh, she's like, it's not a purse. And I was like, well, you can put your phone in it, and you can also like attach things to it. So kind of. And she was
basically a purse.
And she was like, oh, but like, what's in it? I'm like, just water. And she was like, just water? I was like, yeah. And she was like, whoa. And then she was like, I have one of those at home. And I was like, well, you're going to be really hydrated. That's good. She was super into it. She thought it was really,
That's so cute.
she was like, it's really pretty. I was like, well, thank you.
That's so cute.
It was adorable.
You kid.
Yeah, cute kid. Her
Golly.
mom was like, oh, she was having such a fun time watching her daughter be so excited about this water bottle, I could tell. I was having
That's
a fun
adorable.
time. Yeah, so it is really nice. I've gotten so many compliments on it. And I'm so hydrated, guys. It's 2.2 liters, and I've been drinking it every day for like 2 weeks.
Oh yeah. Do you just try to drink like the
Amazing.
whole thing each day?
Yeah, I feel amazing. I feel like if
Crazy
you guys,
eyes.
if
I
you guys feel
amazing.
not well, make sure you drink water, because I think that could be the problem for a lot of people on this planet.
Hot take over here, but Amanda says that drinking water is good.
I'm no doctor
Could be true.
scientist, but maybe. I like that fairy moment is on our wheel.
Fairy
Moment.
Yeah.
moment.
Some
Fairy
moment
moment.
has to do with fairies. I think that could happen.
I think.
Amanda, do you want to tell us more about the wheel right now that there are 5 gifted subs in the queue, or do you want to wait till
Let me tell you more about the wheel. So for today, we have our lovely wheel, which I'm finishing filling in. But basically, what is on the wheel today, this was a Kurt original. And there's some good stuff that Kurt put on here. So we have name an NPC. We have flashback, which is always one of my favorites when we get flashback. Goblin moment. Fairy moment. I really hope we also get one of those. Respin. An awful truth. An awful truth. A lovely moment. Spinner's choice. Amanda's choice. And then, of course, a change the light to colors. Which you can either change my mic or my backlighting. But unfortunately, Kurt and Anthony's lights are not synced to my lights, so we can't affect those yet.
Can we do that?
I don't know, but maybe.
That would be awesome.
Maybe one day.
We just all get hue bulbs and then attach them all together.
Yes.
And we do that for our real lives too, so that our rooms are always the color of Amanda's living room.
Oh my gosh, that'd be awesome. Also, hi Blue Wolf. Hello. Yes. Also, welcome into the Fanging, by the way, my friends that DiCarlo just gifted to. Atomic Sorcery, Non-Playable, Matt M33, King Dubs 57, and Based Tanjiro. Thank you so much for gifting those 5 subs, DiCarlo. And to those of you, if you were gifted a sub, please say thank you for being saved from the ads. Yeah.
You love to do it.
Yeah.
You love to be saved by it. So
a million years ago, we opened playingcards.io.
That is true.
And that's
but we don't even
off.
need it quite yet.
Okay,
there are
just
some
have it.
character creation questions that we're going to be answering. We are a group of mortals. We're going to the Goblin Market together. It's the solstice. The line between the Fey world and the mortal world are blurred, and the Goblin Market is set up right on that border, that transition. We have to decide who we are individually and how we're connected as a group, figuring out our name, pronouns, and the answers to a few questions. So I think the easiest way to start with this is, how do our characters know each other?
Okay, that's a good question. How do our characters know each other? There's gonna be 3 of us.
I think.
So we're going to a Goblin Market. Okay. We could easily be related. What do you think, Amanda?
I think that we're in the same swimming class.
I never get bored of playing games with Amanda.
What do you
Amanda
think?
gotta Amanda. Simply gotta Amanda.
I was literally
Amanda.
thinking about something today for this, for the Phoenix Fan Fusion that I said I was doing the D&D live play at this weekend in Arizona. And I was thinking, I read the debrief for it, and then I thought of a few things that were like really like cool ideas. And then my favorite idea so far has been like my goofiest idea, where I'm like, oh, I'd have to ask the GM if I could do that, I think, because it might be too silly. And I don't know, like, if it's too silly for the tone, because it's kind of a spooky story. But it also does seem like there's some silliness. Like, they like to be silly. So I was like, they might be into it.
Okay, all right. You might be a perfect fit. You might be able to Amanda all over that game.
I love things that are scary, and I love things that are silly. So I'm like, sounds perfect to me.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
But yeah, I do
Okay.
think, I don't think that's my silliest thing I've ever said, but I think that would be interesting. Yeah. That's my suggestion.
Okay, what if we could take that and we could we could twist it. We could play with it. I like the idea I like the image of us swimming together. And I'm imagining like we could be like childhood friends, for example, that always like swam out to an island together. Like we could have like a founding myth or something. And that might even we could have found something, or there could have been some event that happened that maybe has led us to the Goblin Market. That's what I'm thinking, something along those lines.
Yeah, I dig that. We definitely have the strong roots of swimming together, I think. And I love the idea that it's out to an island. And also that seeds the idea that we've got like a sense of adventure and a history of going on these sort of
I like it too because it's something like
quests.
physical that connects us, you know? Like it's like a very physical thing. Swimming together. Also, it does feel very
kindly-
summery.
We got to hydrate, folks.
Yes,
Hydrate.
I did my
So
hydrate, but
says
I'll do
M-Star.
another one. Thank you so much, Angelus M-Star. Congrats on your 5-stream streak. Also, hello, Trekopedia, and thank you for your kind words, and thanks for popping in to say hi. That's so
Thanks
nice.
for dropping by.
Woo.
Someone
Carlos
drowned?
says someone drowned. Carlos got a morbid sense of humor today.
DiCarlo's like,
wondering
that would trauma bonding. Is that what you're thinking, DiCarlo?
Right, okay, because listen to this. As Amanda was saying things about swimming lessons, I was thinking, what if we're all collectively bringing our loved ones' ashes to the Goblin Market?
Whoa.
That was what was going through my head.
You
What if
heard
there
was a fourth
DiCarlo
friend?
about drowning,
Fourth friend.
and you one-up them. Maybe one of our loved ones drowned, and that's why we took swimming lessons.
Well, maybe we had a fourth person who would swim to the island with us, and then they drowned.
We lost them.
And so we're taking their ashes to the Goblin Market. Is it for peace? Is it to seek something from the Fae? I don't think we need to know.
We don't have to know, yeah. I like that, though. Amanda, what do you think? We got a thumbs up.
I love it.
DiCarlo, we're using your goofy suggestion,
We like it.
making it serious.
I think DiCarlo meant it very seriously, though. That's
Maybe
what I'm
he did.
imagining in my mind.
Someone
That Chris
drowned.
was just
Someone
like,
drown.
someone
Someone
drowned.
So, knowing that now, we've got a general question, which is, what is something you desire, however grand or petty?
And this is collectively, or is this individually now?
I think we can answer this individually. I think we can all
Okay.
have our own desires with this situation. I don't think it even needs to be something we desire with respect to this trip. It's
Yeah.
just a question being
Something big.
posed. I think I'm training to become a Fletcher, and I want to be better than my teacher.
Ooh, better than your teacher.
Yeah.
Do you think your
so
teacher's good, or do you think your teacher's bad?
I
Oh,
think
so
my teacher's good.
for DiCarlo's wheel spins, we want to wait till we're
Let's do our character creation, and then we'll start spinning around.
all right. that
DiCarlo,
sounds good.
are you going to be here for a little bit?
Yeah, if you
are
aren't-
okay if we wait?
If you aren't, we'll spin sooner rather than later. But we've only got a couple more questions for character gen, for what it's worth. Yeah.
I got nothing to say to that, Lanique.
I love that, Lanique.
I'm gonna continue to munch this salad if we discuss drowning or not.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, wait,
just
so
life.
Kurt, I missed the end of your question, I guess. Or the end of your answer, because I was distracted by chat or something.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm thinking the person I'm apprenticing with is a good Fletcher,
Okay.
but it's
You
a
just
little
want to be even
kernel of competitiveness that makes me want to even like surpass that.
Of course, cool.
So yeah, I'm a Fletcher.
Okay. That's good. And like my first idea is just simple, like just want to be loved, you know? That like I get this sense that my character's just like lonely and wants to find that missing piece.
Couldn't have a better motivation than that, to be honest.
It's a classic, but for some reason it feels like it fits here.
So wait, we have to write down answers to all these questions,
I mean, we don't have to write them.
but we have to share them.
Yeah.
We have to think
Okay.
about them.
We gotta think. I don't know my name yet or my pronouns. That will come after I answer these questions, I feel like. But I think I desire a car.
Hold on. What era are we in? I'm a freaking Fletcher, which is an arrow-making person, and you want a car.
Yeah.
Well, that's why she wants a car, because nobody's got one.
Nobody's got one.
Yeah, we do have to decide that. I was about to ask before Kurt said that he was a Fletcher. I was like, wait, what era is this? But then he said Fletcher, and I was like, gotcha, medieval-ish. But Amanda's like, nuh-uh.
I want a car.
I want a car.
We
You
can have.
Can I have a car?
It is explicit that you should also
I
decide
could want a
together if you-
horse if that's more appropriate. But like
Now,
a
the
really
game
nice
says we can choose our era, modern, historical, a certain style of fantasy, whether it's summer or winter solstice.
Something
So
kind of cool about a modern era version of this game. I hadn't thought about that at all, but I kind of like trying to figure out like just like the edge of the magical realism of there being this
I mean,
Goblin Market.
It could also be
Also-
like it doesn't have to be set in a specific time. This could be a fantastical world where people shoot people with bows and arrows, and we got that. But then we also got
We
cars.
also have cars. That's also true.
They could
That's
be
also
like
true.
medievally cars. Like they don't have to be. It doesn't have to be like like a Rolls Royce. It could just be like
medieval car, like a Model T, the medievalist of cars.
I'm happy going like
I don't know.
relatively modern. But yeah, maybe we've got automobiles, but we don't have like gunpowder yet.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, exactly. That's
okay.
what I'm thinking. So we
Wow,
kind
that's
of do
kinda
like
weird.
yeah, it's like fantasy, but there's a bit of realism mixed into the world. That's actually my favorite kind of fantasy, I think, where there's like weirdly realistic things that just show up and you're like, all right.
The game we almost played today has like Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind style, weird bio jungle apocalypse situation, fantasy stuff. But then it's Wild West, but there's also motorcycles. So this was inevitable that we would
Yeah.
land on this vibe, I think, today. It was
Okay,
inevitable.
it's just happening. It's in the air.
I
It
like-
we
was
decide?
meant to be.
I like these
What's the rest of the-
suggestions in chat, but DeCarlo, there was a game where I wanted a unicorn. We played that one. That was a thing.
I don't remember that one.
When we
It's
played
been so
Here We
many.
Used to Fly.
Oh, yes, you did want a unicorn. I shouldn't have
Yeah,
forgotten
that's
that one.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. It's true.
Shouldn't have forgotten that one.
Okay, just a little bit of world building now. Just what's the rest of the technology level? Is it like modern day but alternative history where there's no gunpowder or like weaponry like developed past the iron, like the, I don't know.
Maybe
Iron
like,
Age or whatever?
I'm almost thinking like Roman Plus. Like we've got some amenities, we've got some funky tech that you're like, oh, how old is that? But
Okay.
then we can also throw other more modern things in when it feels fun and weird to do so.
Okay, so like Roman steampunk. Like
Yeah,
Roman
maybe there's
steampunk.
pneumatic tubes that go through town, you know, that we
Mm.
can send messages through.
Maybe
Okay.
this is like far in the future. So it's like we did have technology, but then the technology is gone now. So that's how
Okay.
we reverted to almost like medieval times, but then we still have some things that are like you guys said, like are really old. So like maybe there are cars, but cars are also really rare because they don't
Oh.
really exist anymore.
You want a car that remains.
Yeah, and it'd probably be kind of like junky, you know? That's what I'm
Right.
imagining.
But there might even be lots of cars that don't work. But to want a car that does work,
Is like
that takes some wizardry.
you got to
Right.
go to
Well,
the
I mean,
goblins.
gasoline degrades so quickly. So
I was thinking about that today, about The Walking Dead and how they kept finding gasoline.
You were like, "Is that real?"
Wait.
I feel
So-
like also maybe cars like you have to I don't know. I'm thinking like maybe there's some magic or something you can do with the cars to make them go. But
I mean, I
Yeah.
think that might be something you find at the Goblin Market.
there you go. I mean, yeah. Cool. What is something we want to escape in our current life?
the Romans were very advanced. They had
I
plumbing.
think I have a. They did have plumbing.
I know.
Yeah.
I think about that
Aqueducts are
sometimes
very
and I'm like,
impressive.
that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Mm.
I'm getting the vibe that I want to escape, like, my job, which is maybe like something my father did as well. I'm thinking that we're scribes of some sort, and maybe that means in this world that we still like remember the old text. So we can like still read the writing of the old people from the civilization that has passed, and that is a useful skill, but it's a lot of like dull going through texts and maybe writing things down for people, kind of a clerk trapped at a desk, and I want to live life wild and free.
I like that.
That's great.
That sounds nice.
I have a thought that actually ties in very much with DeCarlo's
Ooh.
little suggestion here.
Do say,
I'm
do
thinking,
tell.
I think what I want to escape, we live in, I think, a relatively small settlement of
Mhm.
human life. And in a small settlement like that, sure is hard not to run into your ex.
Oh, you want to escape your ex.
Let's
Yeah.
get X.
Oh, I love
I don't
that.
think they were cruel or anything. It's just unpleasant thinking about those times and how it didn't work out.
I like that. I think that's really there you go. There you go. Ex-partner. Lanique, yes. When I'm the type of person when I play a game and I come up with an idea, I feel like I get very passionate about sometimes my weird ideas. I think I want to escape my sadness.
Oof.
Steph,
The polarity of
you've
Amanda.
got a fast car.
We went to swimming lessons together. I want to escape my sadness.
Ain't that the truth?
Is there any specific trigger or anchor of your sadness, or is it just a general
No.
thing that clings to you?
No, I don't think it's anything specific. I think it's like maybe a general ennui. I think I'm really sad. I don't think my character is outwardly sad, but I think inwardly they're really sad. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Will the car make them happy, or do they think so?
I think so. I think they think so. I don't
Yeah.
know. I guess we'll have to wait and see if they get a car, if it helps,
We've
or if
got more
it
questions
doesn't.
left, but I think we've got some groundwork laid that we could probably spin the wheel.
Okay, let's spin the wheel.
Just thinking about it, we owe some spins. Might as well start them up for our dear Chris, aka DiCarlo 220.
A lovely
You
moment.
remembered the name.
A lovely moment.
Yeah.
I think we see our group of three sitting on that island for the last time. We swam out there, and and that's where the Goblin Market happens.
On the
Uh,
island?
I think it
Ooh.
does. I think you pass through a certain threshold, and it's not a tiny island anymore. It's suddenly bigger and grander. And before we pass that threshold, we see the three of us sitting on the banks of this shore, and just thinking about what it used to be like, and maybe we hold hands.
That's so cute.
So cute.
Oh, I love us. Should I do one more?
Sure,
One
sure.
An awful truth.
Ooh. I think that we standing on that beach there together, holding hands. All of us are avoiding looking past the beach to the sort of the ridge, sort of like goes up into a cliff over the water nearby. Um, our friend never wanted to jump like the rest of us. We wanted them to have fun.
You
We
said-
shouldn't have pushed.
No. Wow. That's
Oh,
heavy. Are you saying that we killed our friend?
Oh. It's always messy, isn't it? Where do you draw the line? If you encourage someone to do something that's not safe.
what a thing to ask on this day when the lines between these worlds is so blurred.
My character's sadness is getting worse.
And it's your fault, Anthony.
Sadness meter grows. Okay.
All right.
What makes you feel like you don't belong?
My clothes don't match.
Hmm.
Don't match the rest of the settlement, or don't match like each other?
Yeah, like don't match each other.
Is that like a choice or a economic reality?
Um, I think I'm trying to sell it as a choice.
Hmm. Mhm,
I don't know if it's actually a choice, but I think my character would say that it is. But then also complains kind of when people like judge them for what they're wearing. It's like one of those things where it's like, but you could just change your clothes. And they're like, no, I love my clothes like this. But
Yeah.
it's like, right, but you don't like when other people point out to you that like that shirt does not go with those shoes.
Yeah. I've been there.
And it's like, yeah, but that's those people's problem. That's not my problem. They just need to figure themselves out.
There you go.
I think that I feel like I don't fit because everybody around here likes to romanticize the world that was before. People love to think about how great life used to be and try to restore the technology that was once past, and even try to like take on the mannerisms or the clothing of the people who've passed. Maybe like how we treat sort of like Romans sometimes. We kind of like, wow, what a cool society. They're so awesome. And I think my character like just doesn't want to have anything to do with the past, and wants to avoid going anywhere close to back there. Just
Right.
wants life to stay simple, which I think is like particularly pressing for the job that I have, which is all about trying to restore the past, and I just hate it.
Gotcha. I think I don't feel like I belong because I was adopted into this community. I was an orphan, one of the scrap kids from out in the bronze fields, and the Fletcher took me in. And I was grateful for that, but there's certainly a part of me that feels like I see these families and I'm just here, you know.
How old do you guys think we are?
I want to say late teens, early 20s.
Yeah,
I'm feeling that, yeah.
yeah. On the
Cool.
on the brink of adulthood.
Yeah. I think we're like maybe just starting out. Like for me, I think my character's like 21, 22.
Sure.
That makes
Our
sense.
last question
Yeah.
is
what is it?
do you feel comfortable in yourself, or are you still searching for who you really are?
Well, that fits in well to the age, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think certainly my answer is that I don't feel self-actualized yet, but I don't know about you folks.
I definitely-
Yeah, I feel like the answer is no.
I feel like the answer is no.
Cool.
Wait, are we talking about the characters or ourselves?
I feel pretty comfortable in myself, I think, right now, but I think my character is still trying to figure some things out. I mean,
Cool.
I don't know. Are you ever comfortable in yourself fully? I mean, that's a. These questions, Lanique was like, these questions are heavy. I was like, these questions are a lot.
They don't
For
mess
a
around
Goblin
in
Market?
Goblin Town.
I think Goblin Market is there's a little bit of a trickstery vibe to the title of this, because when I started reading the PDF, I was also like, Goblin Market sounds funny. And then I read it and I was like, oh, I see.
I think this
Thank
is one of those
you.
funny RPGs where it's like, oh, it's funny and charming, but it's also like, we're gonna talk about life and shit.
Talk about life. All right.
I love it.
Those
Cool.
are our questions.
Okay.
Who would like to read our paragraph under Act 1, Setting the Stage?
Oh, are any of us, did we establish if any of us are related or in relationships with each other?
Not specifically, no. We
We're
definitely know.
friends for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're friends. That's all
Do
we've
you want
established.
to be related or have any more complexity to our individual relationships?
Maybe. I don't know. Do we want to find that as we go, or do we want to set that now?
If you had any ideas, I'd be like, I'd yes and you hard.
I want to say that, like, maybe two of us are in, like, a new relationship with each other, like a romantic relationship. Or maybe we're all in a relationship. Maybe it's a love triangle. I don't know.
You love a love triangle.
I love a
I
love
was about
triangle.
to say, but my want is to not be lonely,
Right.
which made me feel like I couldn't be part of a relationship. But then I thought, you could be part of a new relationship and that be your want for sure.
I think that you could. I don't know. That's all. The other thing that I was thinking is like, oh, but my character's really sad. But then I was like, well, I've been in relationships and been really sad, so that's possible.
That doesn't stop us.
No, so like,
You
and
can't
I've also
stop me.
I've been in a relationship and I feel like felt lonely. You know,
Yeah,
I've been
true,
in-
definitely.
I've been like surrounded by people and been like, man, I feel so lonely. What's happening?
Yeah.
So it could be that for your character. But anyways, it's
Yeah.
just something I'm throwing out there. Like, we totally don't have to do that. It's just something I thought of.
I kind of love it. I don't want to leave it behind.
Okay.
If
For
nothing
example.
else, let's say that there's interest floating around between our characters, and
So
we can
maybe something has been established, maybe not, and maybe we find out through the story what that is.
I like that idea.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. I'm good with that. I'm comfortable with that. It's a thruple. A lot of X-Men reading. Yes, the thruple returns potentially.
Is
So-
the X-Men thruple Scott and Wolverine and
Jean, yeah, I
Yeah.
was tweeting about that even today. Well, did I retweet it? I think I retweeted. Someone else tweeted something, and they were like, I think it's from the Pride issue, I don't know. I haven't read the Pride issue for X-Men yet. It's not, or for X-Men, for Marvel yet. It's not out.
The
And I don't know if
Kitty
it was
Pryde
the past
issue?
one. No, they do like a Pride issue like every June.
Oh.
Oh.
That's funny.
I'm demonstrating that I know one thing about X-Men.
You
is what
do.
I'm
You
doing.
know Kitty Pryde. That's true. Yeah, and the three of them were in the Pride Parade in the back. Like, you could spot them.
Oh.
And then someone was like, proof. And everyone else was like, is anyone even arguing against this? Who would even argue against it? And I was like, 100%.
Wow.
The thruple lives. But yes, you know me. I do love a thruple. If you're new to the stream, welcome. I'm Amanda. I love thruples. Now you know me. Or part of me.
That's how we should introduce ourselves next time. Just all voice our opinions on thruples.
I love it. Okay, cool. Do we
Act
know?
one, setting the stage.
Do we know who we are? Our names, our pronouns? Do we
We
want
didn't
to?
do that part.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't pick names and pronouns.
Like, we don't have to, but
It wouldn't hurt, I think.
it's good to have so we know who we are. But also, I don't know. Sometimes that comes later in a game because sometimes you got to find it.
I'm Ella, she, her.
Nice. I'm Hayes, he, him.
Hayes.
Spelled Hayes, okay?
I
I'm-
like the okay, like we were going to fight you on that.
It's not Haze, okay?
I'm Geraldine, Jerry for short. She, her. Wait, I should write these down so I remember everybody and I call you guys the right names.
I, too, am writing them down in the playingcards.io
Oh!
section.
There's a
I
playing card?
forgot.
Oh, I see.
There's a section for that?
There's a section.
I'm just making my own way to do it. Making my way downtown, walking fast.
So wait, is it going to be up for all of us to see then? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, bless you. Bless you, sir.
And I took notes on people's answers to questions, and I put them in our chat just in case anybody wants them.
So this is
Oh,
like
nice.
potentially like Wolverine, Cyclops, and Jean, but like some gender reversal to ladies. It's really more of a, this is a controversial one. This is not an official throuple, but in my mind, in my dreams, maybe. It's more like a Cyclops, Emma, Jean scenario, if you know what I mean. Except not really, but we can have our fantasies in our minds.
I hope you love that audience because I don't know who some of those people are.
Do you know who Jean Grey is?
Yeah. Actually, no Cyclops and Jean. I just don't know.
You don't know Emma Frost?
No.
Oh. All right.
Does she show up in the movies? All right.
She can turn into diamonds. She is also a telepath.
Turn into diamonds.
She
Turn into
turns into a
diamonds.
diamond. Mm-hmm.
Sick. Hey, we can all turn into diamonds because they can turn your remains into a diamond.
Whoops, time roller.
Hey,
Whoops.
Time Roller. What's up? Yes. I feel like, yeah, she's a telepath first, but her secondary mutation is she has a diamond form, which is pretty cool. And, yeah, she's super cool. I feel like you would like Emma Frost. She's very sassy.
Kurt's doing a diamond impression right now.
It's hard to
really
do a
good.
diamond impression because you can't do all four sides. I would have to involve my legs. Very cool.
Good work, guys. All right.
Someone clip that.
Time for Act 1. Are we ready? Do you want me to read this?
Please do.
Okay.
Wait, should we spin the wheel? After we
Sure.
read this? Third one? Spin number 3, coming in.
Coming in. What do we got? What we got?
Fairy moment. Ooh, I love that we're gonna start with a fairy moment.
Yeah, me
Okay,
too.
Should I read the blurb first, or do we have a fairy
Yeah.
moment before that?
Yeah,
No,
read the blurb, and then
and
we'll fairy moment it up.
we'll
Okay,
think of
sounds
where
good.
that comes in.
Act 1. Dusk falls, bathing the world in purple, blue, and moonlight. As you step into the field through the thin veil between worlds, the Goblin Market flickers into view. Spheres of light dance overhead, illuminating the market. Music floats on the breeze from unseen instruments, mingling with the chatter of the crowd. The rich fragrance of spices, baked goods, and fruit greets you, both from familiar comfort foods of your village and unknown delights from the Fey world. Mortal and Fey children run and laugh around the field as rainbows of fairy light dance through their play. Excitement hangs in the air. It's Goblin Market time. Wow.
I want to ask, any of us can answer. What do we think is the first fairy we see, and is this the first fairy you've ever seen? That feels like a fairy moment.
That's a good fairy moment. Second question, yes. It is the first fairy that Hayes has seen. But I don't know who they are. Does anybody have an image that popped into their head?
I think the fairy is purple. Like completely purple from like head to toe. And
Nice.
I think the fairy is no bigger than a thimble.
Whoa.
Really
Wow.
tiny little fairy. But because they
Maybe
glow and give off this purple light, it's like you're almost like blinded for a second, and the light pulls you into where they are. So your eyes kind of like zoom in. And sorry, you were going to offer something, Anthony.
I was just imagining her landing maybe on Jerry's shoulder or palm or something, and just like catching us all sort of suddenly as we're like there on the edge of the market.
I think she lands on Jerry's nose.
On her nose. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
What does she do or say, Kurt?
Her voice is like a tinkling bell, so clear and crisp as it sounds through the air. And I think she just says welcome, and then flits, and before you can blink, she's scampering across the rest of the market, already gone.
Can't believe it's real, guys. Here on our island the whole time?
It's the solstice. Anything can happen on the solstice.
Anything.
Anything.
So how does this game go, Kurt?
It's pretty simple. We have divided the deck into red and black cards, and in Act 1, we will take turns drawing red cards, which will have a prompt, some kind of question or request to describe something, and we respond to it and sort of build out the world around us. We will keep going, taking turns, I guess in digital clockwise order, and when we feel we want to move on, we will. Act 2 will be black cards, and Act 3 will have no cards and be a short set of questions determining our fate.
Okay. Cool. So we draw red cards to start off with.
Yes.
All right. I'm scrolling to the part of the rules where they tell me what the cards do.
Yes, you will need to have the hearts and or diamonds open.
Are we ready? Do we want to draw our first card?
If you would start us off, Anthony.
Okay, I will. Oh, do you want one more wheel spin before we draw, or do you want
After you
Yeah,
draw.
we
after?
Okay, wait, one more thing. DeCarlo asks what solstice, and I think it would make sense if we swam here. So let's say summer solstice.
Summer solstice, yeah.
Cool. Oh, I love that. I love that feeling. A warm night, and here we are on this island. I kind of like the feeling of like, I don't know. This is our island. This is the island that we swim out to. It's interesting to wonder if there's other people here,
Right.
and if they're here, where do they come from? How did they get here?
I want to say maybe a lot of things lead here, and I
what I'm
also
thinking.
want to say that I feel like we must have been drying off, and that's why we were staying on that bittersweet beach, unsure, sort of stuck in that in-between moment before crossing the threshold. We were soaking wet from swimming over.
Yeah, I like that. And then we stepped up into the field, and the field took us here.
Mm-hmm.
The first card that I have drawn to begin our game is the Five of Hearts. The question is, how long ago did the Goblin Market start?
Well,
Interesting. So, is there any ownership over...
And it's a fairy moment.
Oh, we got a fairy moment.
there you go. Anthony, you drew the card. You will answer. We may ask follow-up questions to you if we wish.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, I think there's two questions of note here. One question is, how long ago did the fairy market start? And the other is, how long ago could you get here from the island? The veils open and close and shift as events take place in the mortal world. We're not sure how long the Goblin Market, how long ago it started, but what we do know is that we've been here several summer solstices in a row. In fact, we've made a habit of it. Somebody older in the village told us that strange things have happened on the island. And if there was a way to get to the Goblin Market, it would be through the island. And that might have been one of the reasons that we started swimming out in the first place, crawling up on the summer solstice and walking up into this field. But every time we did, there was nothing happened. We would like close our eyes and lie down in the field, and we sometimes like would fall asleep and tell each other about our dreams, thinking we'd gone to the Goblin Market, but we hadn't. Nothing like this. But it was in this past year, I think that we lost our friend, and it's the first time we've come as 3 and not 4, and maybe that's the reason, or maybe it was the tragedy on the cliffs that somehow opened something up. But this is the first year you've been able to find it on the island. There's a fairy moment, which I haven't added to this yet. And so I think that as we're walking into the market, we've like just passing the first couple stalls. Several of them have sort of like heavy curtains actually that are drawn all the way around the stalls, so you actually can't see what's going on inside, which is weird for a market because normally people like to advertise their wares. But you can see people emerging from it, and sometimes stranger creatures that you wonder are maybe not people emerging from the curtains and going in. And from a sort of like fully encapsulated like deep purple velvet stall, a tall figure steps out, dressed in like lace from head to toe, overlapping sort of like layers of lace, with a veil over their face, and sort of 2 softly glowing blue eyes in the darkness. And they come over to us and stop right in front of us. You're new here, aren't you?
Well, yeah, says Jerry.
Without social grace, I think Ella goes, "Are you new here too?"
Oh, my dear, no. I have been here since the Goblin Market first started. 1,000,000 moons ago. In fact, I opened the first stall. I sold the tears of my daughter to passers-by. And some others joined me. And now, this. And she turns around and opens her arms to kind of the foggy rows of stalls and tents and coves and trees beyond. Now, a whole wonderful world. Try to get home. Or not. And she disappears into the rows of stalls.
That's great. That's great. There's another question from our dear Chris,
Oh,
which is, does time pass differently, DiCarlo says. And I think, how can you tell? Have you ever been maybe a little addled at a party and you have a moment maybe staring at yourself in the mirror and everything just feels a little different, a little hyper real? I think there's that sensation of difference.
Like
It's
like
subtle.
a time dilation where you're not sure what time is.
Yeah.
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 You're unmoored, but
Yeah.
it's not obvious.
I like that. All right, that's our first card.
Cool.
Digital clockwise takes us to Amanda next.
Right.
Sure
so
does.
I draw one of these, and then in the book,
And then the
I
book.
can see the. Let me just go down here. Hearts. Hearts? Diamonds?
Hearts.
Hearts and
Diamonds.
diamonds. Cool. All right, let's see what we get. Woo!
Woo!
Whoop.
2 of diamonds. So the 2 of diamonds
Ooh, what a good question.
is
Hmm.
who do you trust most in this group?
It's time to get saucy. Here we go, guys.
I think that Jerry pulls Ella aside and is kind of like, wow, I can't believe that you just talked to that like fairy woman. That was like so cool.
I mean, she was talking to us, so what else was I supposed to do?
I mean, yeah, but I didn't even know what to say. I was like falling over my words. Oh my gosh. I mean, do you think that... No, it's silly.
Ella leans in, says real quietly, real close, "Tell me."
Do you think that, like, in this market, they sell more than just, like, items? Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do, she says. And she gives your hand a little squeeze and then pulls you along back to maybe where Hayes is already walking towards something.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
I like the way you answered that question. Just the conversation.
Just a conversation. Who could it be? Well, here we are.
The implications.
The implications. Spicy.
I have drawn the Ace of Diamonds. The question
Ooh.
asks me, are you in love with anyone? Have you told them?
Oh my god, the game is
What?
just setting us up.
This game is like, by the way, thruple energy incoming.
Kurt's hooked up a large language model to the playingcards.io interface to draw the most appropriate cards at each moment from a transcript of this call.
I have to say, I feel like this game, when we started laying it out, there were just certain things that I felt from us laying it out that I'm glad that we all agreed with. And then I'm also like, okay, I know this makes sense because I feel like the game is, that's what the game where it kind of wants us to go. Like, I'm sure
Yeah,
there's...
you caught the right vibe.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if it's the game or if it's just us with the game, but something about this game. This is amazing.
Something's happening.
Always a group effort. I think we see a brief flashback lying under the rafters in the Fletcher's workshop, and I'm holding someone's hand. I give them a little kiss on the cheek, and they say, "I love you," and I don't say it back. And then we see the same scene play out with a different person. Plays out the same way.
Exactly the same way? Roll switch?
Plays out exactly the same way.
It's the same
They
way.
say, "I love you." and I don't say anything.
That's a very mysterious way to answer that question. All right. All right.
Is there more, Kurt?
Uh,
No.
I'll answer questions if you have them, but that's what I'm bringing forward.
I also like the absolute delicious bravado of answering a question that way. Are you in love with anyone? Well, everyone's in love with me.
Oh my gosh. All
I think
right.
that's perfect. I
Okay.
think that's all we needed to know.
That's all we need to know. That's. Yep.
Wait, Kurt, how many cards do we get to draw? I don't want to ever stop.
We will continue Act 1 until we want to move to Act 2.
Oh, great. I love it when games do that.
So it's just when we feel like this part of the story is done.
Yep.
Guess what? It's going to be when we've answered 26 cards.
Maybe. I feel like, here's the other thing. What is the next stage of the story? The market. The market. So this is us setting the stage. Right.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah. So I guess
this is more about setup.
this is more about probably like us and like
Yeah.
that stuff. So probably
Right.
once we feel like we have enough to like, we just want to start like browsing or shopping,
Yeah, okay.
then
Okay.
we probably jump into
good.
it.
Good structure.
Yeah. I like that.
All right, well, that brings it back to me. So let me draw my second card. The 10 of Diamonds.
Tully, you're right. It is very Han Solo.
Does Han Solo also have thruples?
No, but he's very, like, he doesn't say I love you back to people.
Oh, true.
Wow.
I know.
I know.
Well, except
My
that one
question-
time with both the droids. Nope. Please go on, Anthony.
Okay. You used to know someone from the village who ate of the Fey food, and you haven't seen them since. Who were they? That's a good question. Okay, well, I said that there was an older person in the village who had told us about the island could have, could be
Yeah.
a place where you'd find the market.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did. You just said that.
How much older
What
are
happened
they?
to them?
Are they an older sibling or are they? Okay. So actually, yeah. Hayes is an only child. Well, Hayes doesn't have any siblings around now, but Hayes had an older sister, who, to counterpart Hayes' sort of cautiousness and lack of interest in engaging with the world, Hayes' sister was adventurous and passionate and got into trouble. And his sister's about I think about a full maybe 10 years older than him, maybe 8 years older than him.
Oh, wow.
And she used to come out to the island long ago. And she was the one who told us that she had seen on the island the market open. And I think when she first told us, and we were just young, we were like maybe 10, 11. We were like, that's crazy, that's scary. But one night, middle of the night, she tapped on Hayes' shoulder and was like, the market's open. They have the most delicious looking pies. I'm gonna go get one, and I'll bring it back. And when Hayes woke up in the morning, she wasn't there, nor were there any pies, and she never came back. The first time that you tried to find the market, Hayes thought maybe we would find her. And I think he's given up hope since then. But there's a little part of him that wonders.
Pretty good.
I like that.
And I love your teapot. Oh, it's
Yeah,
so
teapot's so
pretty.
nice.
Oh, thank you. Daka got it for me. It also has a little base, and you put a little candle in it so you can like heat up, keep your kettle, your little pot
Yeah,
warm.
sweet.
Not
Nice.
kettle, your little teapot. Yeah, it's a cute one. It's a cutie.
It's super cute.
Do we have one wheel spin left?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Carla's on fire tonight. He says
She's in a pie.
She's in a pie.
Fucked up, Carla.
Amanda's choice. All right. Well, let's see what I got. Ooh, I got a Jack of Hearts. I don't know what that means, but I'm gonna
Tell you
say.
what the question is?
I'm just gonna say Goblin Moment. Also,
Yeah, we haven't had a
Sax
Goblin
Playa.
Moment.
Thanks for subscribing on YouTube. Yeah, Goblin Moment. And then read me the thing, and then we'll figure that out.
Okay. It's a nice and simple question. It was a Jack of Hearts, right?
Yeah.
What do you yearn for most? Interesting, because you already answered a similar question, but
What do
It's
I
a bit different.
yearn for most?
you yearn for. And could it have to do with a goblin moment? Is the question.
I think I yearn for. I think I yearn to feel like I have power, because I think that Jerry, she feels like that she isn't happy at home because she feels like she's so separate from everyone. And although she does have her friends, she just isn't really sure if they, I guess, really like her. And sometimes she thinks, like, is it just because we all live in the same place? So they, like, have no choice but to hang out with me?
When to choose her.
Yeah, or would they choose me? And so I think that she thinks if she could have something to show people that she is important, then people would maybe care more. So I think more than anything, she wants power. And she's heard that while the Fae are these, like, playful, kind of mischievous creatures, the goblins, on the other hand, are these beings of just, like raw kind of dominance in the world. And although they do coexist with the Fae, there were wars that you heard of years ago between the goblins and the Fae. And now they are at peace, but during that time, the goblins almost decimated the Fae. And I think that somewhere, although she knows it's wrong, she kind of admires the goblins for that ability to exercise power over beings that are so, I don't know, that are just so in and of themselves, like, seemingly limitless in terms of what they can do. Yeah. That are like these perfect creatures. I mean, goblins aren't, like, known for being these beautiful things, but that's something that they had, that they were able to hold over the fairies. Part of her, like, secretly admires goblins for that. Although I don't think she'd say it to anyone.
Does that mean that Jerry relates most to the goblins in that situation? Does she see herself as one?
I think that she just would like to understand them more, and because she thinks that she kind of wants that, like, goblin energy. She wants to go goblin mode, but she doesn't really know how.
Right.
We've all been there.
Yeah, me every night.
She doesn't really know how. So I don't know if she would. I would say that she, like, sees herself as, like, you know, allying herself with goblins, but she's definitely very curious about the goblins. Jerry is in therapy. Jerry maybe needs to be in therapy. Yeah. I think this girl could use some therapy for sure. Who among us could not? Oh my god, a matching outfit. Well, yeah, but if you have power, you don't need to have a matching outfit. People will respect you anyways.
That's real. That's why businessmen don't have any real power, because they always be wearing the suits to make up for it.
That's
That's
right. They feel like they
really
need to
a sign of
compensate. Real
weakness.
power is not wearing matching outfits, having your
Yeah.
things be all mismatched, but being so powerful that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Sorry to speak
Tech
the
bro
truth on
outfit.
stream live in front of this audience, but
Wow.
that's how it is.
She's gob curious. Yes, Tully, she's gob curious. Y'all are on fire tonight in this chat.
No, seriously.
It's true.
Thank you, Rapala, for the hydrate. Thank you.
Hydrate. Any more follow-up questions, Kurt?
I think I'm happy with that.
All right. You want to draw us another card?
Yeah, I've drawn a Jack of Diamonds, and it's a
Oh.
question that we've touched on a little, which is easy. How long have you lived in the village? We know that I was taken in by the Fletcher. I think maybe we'll just get a brief glimpse into what that was like. I think one day, yet if I called them the Bronze Fields or the Iron Fields, we'll say the Bronze Fields. I was in the Bronze Fields,
Bronze in it up.
hunting. Yeah, well, hunting for scraps that could be resold, either to a merchant passing by, or maybe if I got enough, I could cobble something together. Maybe I could repair one of the old machines that moved so quickly and get somewhere better. That never happened. But one day, as I was rummaging through one of the pieces of refuse, I was pierced by an arrow.
Wow.
And
Ow.
it pinned me to the ground.
Oof.
And then a very apologetic Fletcher came to me and said, "I'm sorry, I didn't know anyone was in these fields. This is where I test to see how well I have made my tools of my trade." And I was taken back and nursed to health and then taken in, and I've always wondered if it was due to guilt as much as anything else.
Ooh.
I didn't question it.
Ooh.
And when the Fletcher's son took interest in me, of course, I didn't say no to that either.
Oh, wow.
Also, Calvin Harris and Slick Sadie, thank you so much for subscribing over on YouTube.
Of course, Fletcher's son is in the past now.
Does Jerry, wait, does Ella have a sense that, does there like, I just want to know what her relationship with the Fletcher is like now. Is it kind of like cold and like, sort of like dutiful, like you have to be in a relationship, or the Fletcher has to be in a relationship with you, or is there a warmness?
It has always felt transactional. Stilted.
I don't think it's the Calvin Harris, Giancarlo, but you never know.
It's a good answer, Kurt. I like that a lot. I'm going to draw a card, if everyone's all good with that.
Yeah, I'm good
Draw
with that.
a card.
It's the 9 of Diamonds.
The Ninemond, if you will.
I won't. Something happened earlier today that stirred up the intense feeling of not belonging. What was it?
Ooh.
Interesting. Okay, I know that I said that the thing that like mostly makes me feel like I don't belong is that I don't idealize the past like most people in our village, who are scavengers and historians and who sort of like make a living pulling things from the past. But I think that there is a more core sense of not belonging, and it's literally, the event has literally just happened. After the tall, veiled fairy lady came up to us, Jerry takes Ella
Bye,
aside.
Lanique. Have a good night.
Bye, Lanique. Thanks for all your comments. They're really fun. Jerry takes Ella aside, and Hayes pretends not to notice, because that's the polite thing to do. And Hayes wanders over to the side where there is a human selling these sort of most beautiful crafted breads, and Hayes pretends to be interested, but really strains at the edge of his hearing to hear what they're talking about. And they come back, and there is a closeness to them. And he turns around and says, "Hey guys, what? Did you see something over there?" Or...
No.
Same thing you saw. Big fairy lady.
Yeah, totally. And Hayes sort of like, it's quiet for a second and looks down and sort of picks up one of these sort of like bread crafted into the shape of a swan and goes like, "Wow, can you believe this?" And as he turns around, Ella and Jerry have already sort of walked off towards the next stall, and no one's looking. And he puts it down quietly and rushes after them.
Ow.
Ow.
Ooh. Yay. All right. I guess I'll draw a card.
Yeah, draw a card. Or follow-up question me, you know?
No, I feel like I like that where we left it. That was painful.
Couldn't get better than that.
Yeah.
It's good because it hurts.
It's good because it hurts.
Because it's real.
We've all been there before. We're like, hey, guys. Oh, they're gone. Yeah.
What do you
That's
mean
where I
it's
belong
good
in
because
this
it's
group.
real? Anthony's just jealous of the fact that we did a dual stream last time we streamed without Anthony.
It's
Poor
stupid. I
Anthony.
wasn't free, but I still was kind of jealous.
I got the Ace of Hearts. Describe a place you would miss if you left.
That's a great question.
That is
I
a
really
great
like that.
question.
Describe a place you would miss if you left.
I think Jerry would miss. I think as Jerry is like kind of walking through the market and just kind of taking in not really as much the market itself as like the people around her. This is a very simple answer, but I think that the place that she would miss is she would miss like just being in the fields with her friends if she wasn't able to go there anymore. And sometimes she does fantasize about like leaving the village and going out on her own, and thinks like maybe out in the world there are people that would connect with her more. She has this like idea of like being an adventurer could be a way to find acceptance and joy. But at the same time, she's scared of losing the only people that she feels like she does have that
Right.
maybe
Yeah.
see her.
That tension of like knowing that there's something better for you out there, but
Maybe.
not being sure enough, in order to leave what you have behind.
Yeah, and I think that she would miss just having people that she gets to talk to and listen to about just dumb stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I like that.
Also,
Interesting. Yes.
if y'all have any love that you want to show to Rapala today, everyone in the chat, you should do that, because Rapala's had a bit of a day, and love is always appreciated. Just gonna put that out there.
Nice.
Also, Rapala, appreciate you. Thanks for being
Yeah.
great and being an amazing mod and an amazing human. Just an FYI. Just shout out.
Yeah, I'll back that.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, thanks for follow. Follow's like such a steadfast part of these streams and all such a nice presence. Thanks for
true.
being here all the time.
Oh my gosh, Tully. Places we don't want to leave. Some R-rated places. Oh my. It is a really relaxing tea, actually. It's really nice. It's a really good tea. I was asked what I was drinking. It's called Christmas Morning Blend, and it is a tea from David's Tea. It's a black tea, and it's really good. And I know it's not a Christmas morning, but I really love this tea. Also, I'm almost out of it, so I'm gonna have to wait till like next year probably to get some, or like this holiday season. Rapala.
It's nice to be able to pull on a Christmas morning anytime you want, you know? To be able to conjure one any moment in your life. That's nice.
Yeah, it's a good one. I drew a card that I would say we already definitively know every part of the answer to. So I think I'm going
Draw a
to
new one.
simply draw again.
Okay.
The question was, did you arrive as a group or meet up at the Goblin Market? What method of transportation did you use?
We already discussed
And we way over
We nailed it.
all of that. We know
We've
everything.
got it all.
We do tend to be people too. A game will be like, pick a color, red, blue, or green. And we'll be like, okay, let's pick blue. And they're like, but also, like, do we think that blue has always existed? Or, like, what's the history of blue? And, like, what does green even mean in this context? And then we, like, build a whole world around it. And then later they're like, so now it's time to decide what blue means. And we're like, oh.
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 Man, I felt really seen and slightly attacked in that. But like,
but we do that.
Do they have blue here?
We
they
all
have
do that.
blue?
We're like, but what if this question is this? Should we answer this?
Wait, hold on. What era are we in?
Watch, there's gonna be a card that's gonna be like, what era do you think
What
you're in?
era
And we're
are
gonna
you
be
in?
like, we already answered
What's
that.
the level of technology? Do cars exist?
Oh my
that's
goodness.
specific.
That's odd, actually.
Tully, we do have all year round Christmas stores. Yeah, those exist here.
Yeah, there's one in Ottawa that I don't
there's
know
one in
how it
Ottawa.
exists. Every time you go in, it's like, well, first of all, you're like, these aren't like nice Christmas things, any nicer than your average Christmas thing.
Really?
It's,
They're not nice.
Yeah.
I don't think they're that nice. They seem kind of tacky or otherwise just not terribly impressive. And also, it's attached to maybe an even weirder store that has. My theory is that it's a movie industry thing. They need to be able to buy last minute props, and there is a modest movie industry in Ottawa, so maybe that's it.
So modest.
I don't know what to tell you. That's my
I
only
think it's somebody
theory.
who loves Christmas and maybe owns the building and they're just a little pocket of just beauty. They're just gonna have a Christmas store for the rest of their lives.
Not a bad theory. A pretty good one, even.
Likely, yeah. But David's their teas are seasonal, some of them. So those
Seasonal.
seasonal.
Guys. Kurt drew another card. What did you draw?
What is something important to you that you always carry with you?
Ooh,
Ooh.
that's a good question.
So there's this tradition. Whether it's in the village or broader, I wouldn't know. But on a particular day of the year, you're supposed to give a dried flower to a person that you're interested in.
Ooh.
It's funny, I got the same dried flower from two different people. And when I tuck it behind my hair, behind my ear, in my hair, it does frame me so nicely. And it's not even a statement I have to make. I just wear whatever one I feel like wearing that day. I'm wearing one today. Left ear.
Ella. Playing with our hearts.
I know.
Do we have a tiny scene?
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm down. Always down for a tiny scene.
Hayes catches up to Ella at the front of our tiny pack and leans down towards her ear. I noticed you're wearing my flower.
Shh. Our secret.
You keep it dry or they'll swim over here.
I can't actually breathe out through my nose. I always have my head above the water. Besides, my hair would be wet if I got too deep in.
Well, I can always give you swimming lessons, or if you want, you go faster.
Doesn't matter. Do you like it?
The flower?
The flower.
Yeah, I love it.
Good. And I think she gives your shoulder a little affectionate squeeze.
Oh my. Oh la la.
Hayes smiles and straightens up again. The weight lifted. And that brings it back around to me.
Ayy.
All right. Let's see what the game's got in store for us today. Oh, that's a good question. I'm trying the Two of Hearts, and it says, describe a Fey
Spicy.
encounter you had in the past, apart from the Goblin Market. How did it make you feel? I'll answer the second question first. It made me feel heartbroken.
Oh.
And now I'll answer the first. It wasn't. It's just about maybe 5 years ago. I'd come down to the beach near the village by myself. It was my sister's birthday, and Hayes, slightly prone to drama, but also has big feelings, and they need space to exist. So he'd gone down to the beach to let the beach be filled with his sorrow, twinges of guilt. And he saw someone swimming in the water. He watched them. They swam well, sort of back and forth. And at times it looked like maybe there was 2 people or 3. But as they emerged from the water, he could see it was just one. They were wearing a strange garment, a dark green from head to toe. And as they pulled out of the water and came closer, he squinted through the twilight and saw his sister standing on the beach. She'd been gone for years already. But here she was. Maybe she'd just been on the island all this time. And he stood up. Grace? Grace, is that you? And she just nodded at him. And he started to run across the beach. She held up a hand. And he stopped. And she said in kind of a low, gravelly voice, "Did you miss me?" Yeah, of course. And Hayes started to cry on that beach. But I'm so glad you're back. Me too. And Hayes began to run again. And his sister said, "No, no." And Hayes reached her and wrapped his arms around her. And as he did, she split apart into 100 little fairies emerging from underneath the green cloak. They disappeared into a cloud above him.
That's horrifying.
He watched them zoom out over the water. Fairies.
Whoa!
This game leads to a lot of silences.
That's pretty good. That's pretty freaky.
Very freaky. Very freaky. Also, Tully is asking about the banjo that you have in the back. Yes, Anthony does play that banjo.
Yeah.
He's able to play the banjo. Yes, I've seen it. It's real.
I've seen it. I would play it Telly, but Zoom, which we are using to teleconference, hates when we
Zoom
play
does
any
not like
instrument.
it.
Really
so
hates it.
won't-
We've tried.
won't let
It
me.
has to
We've
be one time. Maybe we'll do like a musical RPG where we're all in the same place. Like if we're all in the same place together, we could maybe
That
do
would
that.
help. Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
then our mics could actually pick it up. Also, then we could all sing together and not have to worry about lag or
The delay.
things.
I know there's like technical solutions that let you do it because there's like there were a bunch of podcasts during the pandemic that would like I listened to musical improv podcasts and they found a way to be able to sing together online. So I know it's possible, but it's probably not worth it.
I've heard
There's three
people also
considerations.
do theater music, like online musicals during the pandemic, where they like literally
Oh.
just like did like a whole show. I don't
And,
know
like,
if it was
sang together.
pre-recorded though. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I think it was live. A cloak full of fairies.
That does sound like a
Sounds
cool
like
metal band.
It does. Sorry, were you
Was
gonna
that
say
Kurt?
something, Kurt?
Yeah, it's just there are considerations, and part of it has to do with literally how far the data has to travel.
Really?
If you're within a certain radius,
makes
it is
sense.
easier to have low to no lag. But also most video chat programs aren't by default going to do that for you.
Right.
There's more technical solutions. And there are, for the record, musical TTRPGs. Most famous, perhaps, is Scherzando, where your character, like you do play instruments, whether well or poorly, you do play them. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
There you go.
Yeah, it's out there.
Maybe someday.
Maybe
I would
one
love to
day.
play a musical RPG with you guys.
I think
feel
it'd be really
I feel like
fun.
we could do it.
I
There'd
feel
be a
like we
certain
could
group of
do
people for that would not be like a fun time, but I
Yeah.
feel like we'd enjoy it.
I think most people here would be here for it, considering that people do like to, sing modus, and I think people
As
enjoy
far as I
what we sing.
recall, Scherzando
Mindful.
is Skurzando, maybe. It's explicitly supposed to be playable even if you don't know anything about music or own any instruments or anything.
Amazing. Oh, nice.
Yeah. But that is a story for another day, I suppose. Rapala, tell us what instruments you play.
Yeah,
list of
nice.
instruments.
And in the interim,
Kurt, how many instruments can you play? Sorry, this is a side.
I
No,
mean
do it.
0, if we're being
0?
kind of, yeah.
You're a liar.
That's not
You're
true.
a liar. You can
It's
definitely play ukulele.
Okay, I guess.
You're
It's
great,
between
ukulele.
0 and 3, depending on what you count.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
the
can
reason
play
I asked you is
3,
because I want you to.
but
I want you to say
not
guitar.
well. Not well.
I did play the guitar
In a band.
in a band,
Guys, in
yeah.
a band. What's the third one that you can maybe play?
Well, the third one's I can also sing, and I consider
Oh.
that an instrument.
The voice is an instrument.
It is. This is true. Rapala says trumpet, bass, guitar, and drums.
Nice. You
Stand-up
are,
bass or guitar bass, Rapala?
Good question.
I was in a jazz band too. Nice. Nice.
That's
Kurt, are you
sick,
swearing in
actually.
chat?
Yeah. Cowbell triangle. I
Cowbell, I'm gonna pause and just say cowbell actually needs like a great deal of buy-in, because if
Really?
you're offbeat with a cowbell,
Sure.
it's the most obvious thing in the world.
Right.
Yeah, I want to say that I could play like 4 instruments, but then I'm like, do we count tambourine?
Yeah.
Hey, if you love it, if you're good at it, yeah.
I mean, I played a tambourine in a theater show. Like that was like one of the instruments I had to play, and I did have to learn. Like you just have to learn like rhythms, and then know when you come in to play the rhythm part, because
Right.
that's what a
Right.
tambourine. That's what I was doing. Anything you
Amanda.
play that is rhythm, actually, you do have to make sure you don't mess it up,
Yeah, that's true.
because it'll mess everyone else up if you get messed up.
Yeah, that's true. You have a lot of responsibility. Amanda, have you ever had an ad that you were in play on your stream?
No.
Okay. I was just watching ads because I haven't subscribed to your channel. And there was somebody who looked like you, and I was like, wait, but no,
Oh, might be me. What was the ad for?
I don't know. They were dancing.
Oh, dancing.
Doesn't sound like it was you.
Maybe. There was one commercial I
Dancing.
danced in, not like well. Like, how were they dancing?
Is dance an
It's like
instrument?
choreograph?
Good. Yeah,
Yeah, probably not me. Maybe,
that would be a great moment.
but I
You
don't
really
think so.
made it when you're advertising on your own stream.
I mean, yeah, I don't think I have any ads that are running right now. I mean, there is some print stuff that's still running, I think.
Sorry,
But I don't think I have anything like a commercial.
I haven't
right
seen you in the subway for a while. It makes my life better when I can see my friend Amanda in the subway.
now. I'll try to book something else for you
Great,
so you can
appreciate
see
that.
me.
Thank you.
I'll say, could you guys hire me? Look, it's not about the money. It's not about my resume.
I just need you to put some posters in Broadview Station, please.
Just for my friend Anthony, if you could help me out, that'd be great. So I drew the 4 of diamonds, I think. Who would you be glad to get away from if you left?
Oh wow, this is like the opposite of the question you just answered,
Yeah.
right? Well, where would you miss? Who would
Yeah,
you not miss?
What would I miss? And then who am I like, get me the heck away from this person? I think I want to get away from...
I don't know much about the people in Jerry's life.
That's true, eh?
I think I want to get away from, like... I don't know. Like, I want to say society, but that's not really a person.
Mm-hmm. Is there anybody particularly who like judges you, or is like a symbol of the judgment, the othering you feel in this society?
That's a good question. Yeah, I think there is just like maybe an elder in the village that I really would like to get away from. And I think so when I say society, it's kind of like because there's someone that like is very much involved in running the place, it makes me like really feel like when I'm there, like I'm just not happy because I know that they're in charge and I feel like they just want to judge everyone. Like it just feels like everything has to be their way. And there's no compromise. And I think maybe it's the person who is like the most senior in the village, like the oldest person. So they're really like have a lot of power. And I don't like that they try to tell people like what to do. Like I know if I stay around long enough that probably what my job is there will be dictated by them. Because a lot of people, that's what happens. Unless it's like you pick something that they just like agree with. So it gives me like, it makes me feel like a lot of pressure. Like I'm going to not pick the right thing in their mind. And then I'm just going to get like moved over to something else. Because I don't think that Jerry has like found like a career yet.
What does Jerry do? Anything?
Anything? I think Jerry aspires to make some kind of new job. Like I don't think that she wants to do anything that people have already done. She just doesn't see the point in that.
Right.
She feels like, you know, we've already done all of these things in the past so many times and feels like nothing is changing fast enough for her. So she's like, I want to do something that's going to like change the world. But she doesn't know what it is yet. So then, you know, that's the other hard part of it is because then when people are like, okay, well, like, what is that? She doesn't really have an answer. So it's kind of rough when you're like, well, I want to change the world. And people are like, how? And you're like, well, I don't know. Like,
it should be different than it is.
Yeah. I feel like people should, you know, like things could move a lot more smoothly. And maybe if we just weren't so busy, like doing mundane tasks, like we could all find more joy in life.
That's a good answer. I really like this story you've built of Jerry's like tension with this place, or like Jerry's case to leave.
She wants to be the Goblin Queen. Yeah, maybe. She wants to be the Goblin Queen. Yeah, my angsty 22-year-old self. Yeah, I mean, I was definitely not angsty like this when I was 22, but I don't think I was. But Jerry certainly is in her early 20s. She does seem angsty, doesn't she? Angsty, but she just wants a car, you know?
Yeah.
Classic angsty adolescent.
Dancing near a big wicker statue. Oh my gosh. In the ad.
Great answer, Amanda. Loved it.
Thank you.
Kurt, you got another red card, didn't you?
That's the question.
I think that's my last red card, I would like to say. I think I'm good.
Might be done.
Would you like the symmetry of me doing one more red card?
Yeah.
Or is it time to move on?
Rip out a quick one. It might be the one we've been waiting for.
Sure. Got a 5 of diamonds. 5 of diamonds reads
I want to know more about Ella. I'm curious.
Who in this group would you miss most were you to end up in different places?
Oh shit, they asked the question.
They asked the question.
I knew it was like we had to have one more.
Now you have to choose one of us.
Now I have to choose. Loading.
I mean, it does say who do you miss most. So it's not quite the same question as like who do you like most or who do you love. Those could be different questions.
That's true.
I would miss Jerry most, but it's hard when I can't rely on her.
Are you nagging Jerry right now?
Oh,
Why
I
can't
would.
you rely on her?
Wow, she doesn't know what she wants. She's flighty. She wants change and doesn't know what it should be. She's never
Fair.
had to work for anything like I have. She's just here. And don't get me wrong, I love Jerry to bits, but she's just Jerry.
So this feels like a weird answer to this question. Like you're like, I'd miss Jerry, but also whatever.
Well, the thing is,
I love it.
she's so sweet and so full of life, and it's just maybe part
No
of it
direction.
is that I know without me, she'd be even more lost. And so being that for someone kind of matters. But that can't be all you are.
Fair enough.
How messy.
Very
messy.
Sure.
So now we move
Great
on
final
to
question. I love that.
the black cards. Now we're at the market.
black
I mean,
cards. we are.
We're
I
going
mean,
to Act 2.
we were at the market,
know,
but now we're
it's going to ask
marketing
us
it up.
questions about the market. Would you, perhaps Amanda, read out the passage on the page titled Act 2, The Market?
Yes. Act 2, the market. A myriad of colorful items adorns the market, strewn across creative displays set up by humans and fae alike. Tables sketch the border of the market, laden with wares, and carts overflowing with fabrics and blankets are scattered around the middle. The trees are decorated with clothing on display, hanging from their branches, and rocks are dappled with trinkets ready for sale. People bustle about, trading for textiles, decor, and a variety of curiosities. At the far end, just out of reach, behind a magical barrier, a feast of fae food is kept safely tucked away until late into the night for the protection of the mortals. There are consequences of eating, but that choice is yet before you. Draw cards from the black deck and follow the prompts. Michael Hall, thank you so much for subscribing over on YouTube. Also, wow, does that fit in well to what we established in this? Hey, Prashawn, how's it going? Welcome on in. We're just playing the Goblin Market, a fantastic little indie RPG. It has been very dramatic.
Very dramatic.
Very dramatic.
And now we proceed to Act 2. Should I start, or is that
Yeah.
the next on the floor? Yeah. Okay.
Although, wait. Before we start, I might need to take a bio break. Really cool.
Bio break?
Really cool.
Sure, sure.
Really cool. Really cool.
Really
bio
cool bio break.
break? Oh man, so
It's gonna
cool,
be
Amanda.
sick.
Sick biological functions.
Oh my gosh. I meant really quick, but I like that I said it really cool.
Cool.
Really cool.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take a quick bio break, but then I'll be right back.
Sounds good.
All right, thank you.
Sounds cool.
Also, Atomic Sorcery,
Sounds
thank you
really
for the
cool.
hydrate and the stretch.
Stretch.
Hydrate. This is why I need the bio break.
All this hydration?
I'm so hydrated, baby.
It's actually true. It's a problem when you drink a lot of water and you're like, I'm healthy. Or at least if you're me, that means you end up peeing all the time.
Do you have to pace oneself?
Mm-hmm. I would struggle right before I write an exam. I'm in grad school right now, where I always want to like be hydrated and drink, but I have to like not drink like an hour, 2 hours before the exam. Otherwise, you gotta pee the whole time. You waste so much time going pee, and it's awkward
Yeah.
in an exam. Every time you go pee, it feels like you're cheating. You're like, I'm gonna go. You're like, I could be cheating right now.
It's it's weird. I have the same thing with travel. Like if I'm going somewhere, I don't want to be dehydrated because I feel like the more
Yes.
dehydrated I am, the more restless I am. My leg wants to kick around everywhere. But I
Yeah.
also feel like the less hydrated I am, sorry, the more hydrated I am, of course, the more you got to stop or go to a less than ideal facility. It's
Yes,
simply
true.
it's a bad trade.
Yeah. Or if you're on an airplane,
Yeah.
you don't want to go to those dumb. You got to get everyone to stand up in your row. It's terrible.
Once I was at a sugar shack, which made maple syrup in Quebec,
Uh-huh.
and there's just not a lot of facilities at those old school sugar shacks.
Wow, what a segue. Really?
Yeah. Depends on how touristy it is, but there was such a line. Something that you might not know if you're not familiar with the intricacies of maple syrup production is that it really only happens over like a pretty short period in the spring.
Yeah, it's really
Um,
quick, actually.
and when it's done,
Relatively.
it's done. But nobody wants to go to visit the maple syrup place when it's not making maple syrup. That's weird and boring.
It's just a strange breakfast restaurant at that point.
It's
Very far away,
just a strange
very
kitschy
expensive.
Canadiana breakfast restaurant. There's no point. And so
When's the
everybody
last time?
goes.
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and everybody gets to go at the same time. Hi, Dylan. Amanda will be back soon. It's not just the Anthony and Kurt show. We're talking about maple syrup, which is what Canadians do when they're not sure what else to talk about. Running gag for a long time.
I live in fear of it now because I have run out, I think, of every anecdote or observation I have about syrup. Um,
The thing is,
I,
we don't have to keep doing it.
no,
And
but
yet,
it's hard to back down, right?
and if we're expanding to other kinds of syrup, there's both yuzu and rhubarb in this. Rhubarb fresh grown by some
Dang.
friends. It's rhubarb season. That's the spring for you.
Ah, it's rhubarb season. And you made
Mm-hmm.
rhubarb syrup? Did you make it?
Yeah.
Fascinating. Is it very bitter? Sour? Sour?
No, but it's sour enough that you probably don't need citrus if you're making a beverage, which is nice.
Because rhubarb is crazy sour. Hi, Amanda.
Hello, I'm back.
It was
I,
pretty
Welcome
cool.
back.
I went to the bathroom and it was great because I had to go to the bathroom.
Why did you say it like that? The fact that you said the sentence was bad enough, but you paused for so long before saying
I didn't pause for that long.
it was really long.
It was
You were
long.
like thinking about it, replaying it in your mind.
How was it? Truly, how was it?
How
Well,
was it?
great.
Guys, I really had to go to the bathroom.
I
And it was
respect that.
great.
It was great. I'm so glad you went.
Thank you.
Oh my
Wouldn't want you to
It was
miss
gosh.
very
out on that.
satisfying.
Oh, it gets me real bad.
Has no one ever said that ever? Someone's had to have said that.
No, it's just that you felt the need to give a status report that gets me.
Just wanted to give you the update.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I know you all
Back to the
wanted
game?
to know if it was a good time, and the answer was yes.
Well,
Well, I already knew it was cool.
yeah, we had such FOMO because you'd set it up as such a cool thing to
It's
do.
so
We weren't
cool.
even invited.
Ugh,
That to me
Why
is
are we
more
even here?
embarrassing than what I just said. In my mind.
well,
That's quite cool.
Neither are good.
Oh boy. I am still eating the salad. I have like a tiny little bite left. I mean, I feel like if you know me, which I think you all do, after watching me do things live on the internet for who knows how many hours, I'm a very slow eater.
I like that you ate very slowly in order to demonstrate this fact.
That wasn't even intentional.
All right, shall we return to the game?
Jack of Clubs.
Jack of Clubs is what I've drawn. This is our first black card, the beginning of Act 2. You have a conversation. Oh, this is what the question the Jack and Clubs requests us to answer. You have a conversation with someone from your village that reminds you of the things you appreciate there. Who are they? Interesting. That means we find someone here from the village. Really, really, really interesting. Okay, I think it's actually... Yeah, okay, I have a question for Amanda. As we come around the corner of sort of a row of these tables and tents, there's kind of an eating, well, yeah, there's an eating area. It's human food, not fey food. It's human food. There's
Right.
some places to eat. There's more humans gathered here in tighter concentration as the Fae do not necessarily need to or want to eat the Fae food. And in the crowd, we notice a older woman hunched on the bare wooden bench that she sits on, and it's the elder of the village, our what we call them, the magistrate, who makes decisions about what jobs people need to have. Your nemesis in some ways. How do you react when you see her?
I think Jerry walks the other way.
Just turns around out of there. And then a question for Kurt. Hayes is walking towards her because he's like, oh my gosh, what's she doing here? And he's walking towards her. Jerry's walking straight away. Where does Ella go?
We'll go with Hayes because the curiosity is strongest.
Okay. We walk up and Hayes very gently sort of like touches her shoulder and says, Magdalene. And he sort of like bows a little bit as you're supposed to do. And wait, does anybody want to be here? You don't have to.
I can take Magistrate Magdalene, sure.
Okay, great. That'd be awesome.
Hayes.
What are you... I'm sorry, but what are you doing here?
One could ask you the same question, youth.
We were told on the island that the veil is thin and we wandered in.
Of course. And those that know the way will not have trouble finding it again. Have they been here before? I did not ford the lake, as you have.
And how did you get here?
As I said, I have been, and things are so thin, one can only think it and appear. I was dreaming.
Are you asleep right now?
She laughs. Not warm, but not unkind either. She laughs, and she says, "Who can say? This place is a dream of sorts."
I feel that way. I feel like I'm floating slightly. Like I have to look down to see if my feet are on the ground.
The ground is your home, young one. You would do well to remember that.
That's wise. And Hayes thinks about it. Is it? How long have you come? If you don't mind me asking, Magistrate. How many years?
How long has she come? She answers simply with, I first went as a young woman, and as I said, it's hard not to come back.
Do you remember my sister, Grace? Did you ever see her here?
In a sense, but I can see by your eyes that perhaps you have as well, in a sense.
In a sense. I was hoping she might, then maybe she's still here. or visits. Do you know if they can stay here?
Just as we, the fair travelers on this night, you would do well to remember that while their world is different than ours, they too are here to see something different, something new, something removed from their own coil. Take that with you as you will.
And in a world of uncertainty, of fear, just unknown passing into this place, to see the magistrate there, with answers, with knowledge, Hayes feels a little more comfortable. It's nice sometimes to be somewhere where you're not in charge.
Cool. Hi to Chemdog. Hi to Ricardo.
Hello. All right. Black card?
Draw that card. Draw that black
Draw a
card.
black card.
Jack of spades. Jack of spades. Jack of spades. Excuse me.
Sorry, what was the card?
Jack
Might be a jack of spades.
of spades.
Oh.
You find an item of clothing that feels like it was made perfectly for you. Like it was woven from a piece of your spirit and should be part of you. What is it? Do you trade for it?
Oh,
Yes.
this is perfect. You've just wandered off by yourself.
I know. And I also feel like this is a really great find for
Oh, true. Your
someone
clothing's
like...
always mismatched.
Yeah. Do I go
Does this
for the
fix it?
thing? I don't know. Does Jerry go for the thing that will maybe fix that? Or does she commit to being mismatched?
Well, of course you have a choice. This is fairy clothing. It could be even more mismatched. It could be completely outlandish.
That's true. But I
The
mean...
goblin at the stall barks to you.
Do you take it? What's your trade?
I might be inclined to take it, says Jerry.
Don't be coy with me.
Well, I have something that I could trade for it.
The goblin's eyes sparkle and widen.
What? What do you bring?
Well, I have these socks that my mom knit me. And Jerry takes her shoes off and takes her socks off and says they're mismatched and they were made for me for my 9th birthday. So they have a lot of sentimental value. And then I've also got, and she pulls out of her back pocket a ring that was given to me last summer by my friend Hayes.
The ring isn't important. What is important is why it was given. Tell me.
Why, Amanda?
Well, we made a promise not to leave each other. Because I was thinking of leaving the village, but I didn't.
A ring of promises is only worth something if promises are kept. And perhaps it was. Perhaps it was. Perhaps it was. But quick. If you plan to leave, trade it quick. Trade it quick, quick. It won't be worth anything after tonight.
What about the socks, though?
The socks. Oh, I have dozens of socks. Dozens.
Okay. I'll trade it to you.
It only takes you saying that for the goblin to reach forward and snatch the little ring and tuck it away in a pocket and make a quick note on a sort of roster of an inventory. And you can see, and the goblin's already away making a trade with someone else who approaches the stall. But the article of clothing, does it move closer to you? Does it somehow sort of lift itself towards you?
I think it's like one gesture, and it's almost like glides over top almost of what Jerry's wearing, but at the same time, Jerry's clothes seem to like fade away underneath it.
Mm.
So it's like a kind of, I'm picturing kind of like a slinky or magical girl like transition here.
Yeah.
Cool.
If anyone was to watch, it would seem instantaneous, but for you, it felt like something.
It felt like something for sure. It feels like, although the garment almost looks the same as what Jerry was wearing a moment ago, there's just a certain sheen to it that makes Jerry feel like more comfortable in what she's wearing. So it's almost like, although her clothes haven't changed, the way that she moves has changed to the point that it makes you feel like she's wearing something different, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Cool. Kurt?
Ricardo, today we are telling this, and anyone else who's joined us in the past since we started, today we're telling the story of 3 human youths in the night of the solstice who've gone to a goblin market where the fairy world blends into the humans and fey food tempts. We are going to jump to my turn. We are all drawing cards which will ask us questions, and I have drawn the 5 of spades. The 5 of spades reads as follows. You find an item on display that you feel irresistibly drawn to. What is it? Do you trade for it? In spite of having worked for a Fletcher for years now, Ella has never owned a bow.
Oh my god.
There's never been a bow that felt right. And in the same way that you can make something and it didn't feel necessary. She just made the tool, didn't intend to use it. But for the first time, there's a tug at something deep within Ella. This bow is her bow. Her bow. Does she trade for it? Yeah.
Well, what's it gonna be? You can't just stare all day.
Ella glances over her shoulder and sees that her friends aren't looking, slips the flower out of her ear and passes it to the merchant. Given in love.
Delicious. Ooh. Sour and delicious. Yes. You may have it.
She takes the bow and then, with such a subtle little gesture, pulls the second flower from her pocket and slips it behind her ear. You know, the one given to her by the other of the 2.
I feel like Ella just brought our flowers here to trade them away.
That's because she did.
Oh my lord. Ella.
I have drawn the 6 of spades. What is something your village is known for? They put on display every goblin market. Fascinating. I don't think I know this. I don't think Hayes knows the answer to this question until we get here. The fact that there's so much of our village's involvement with this market is a surprise to me. But we've already met the magistrate. And as our conversation finishes, um, she says, "Have you seen our stall?" and Hayes shakes his head no. And Magdalene shows him down a long walk to a sort of large oaken table that Magdalene seems to run, but there are a couple of other folks from the village who are there, people that we might know in passing, adults from the village, some of the stranger ones that maybe you haven't had a conversation with, or at least a coherent conversation. What is on display on this table? It's long forgotten things. Our village is known for collecting things from the past, from the civilization that used to be here. And the people in our village make a living pulling copper from the copper fields, pulling pipes from the old houses and remaking it into things that we need now. But there are other things of value that are not just technology or minerals. They're things with memories, long forgotten, that cling to these pieces. And the market for these is not humans, but the Fae. They love an item with memories, and if they're 1,000 years old, ever so better. They're a strange collection of Fae and goblin figures. Did you get a meow in the
I
audio?
did. It was so good. It was like right into the like you're building this thing, and it's almost like a response.
Yeah, one of
Embellishment.
the Fae creatures turns towards Hayes and has like a little cat face underneath its hood. Um, this is my new cat's first debut on stream, by the way. You can't quite see her. She's at least Cranberry's been so scared she doesn't even come out from under her bed for the last month and a half.
Oh,
But she's gotten very brave this week, and she's here now.
that's so cute.
Yeah. So there's these fairies, goblins all congregate around the table, and they're passing over kind of like old broken watches, and even here and there, kind of most precious are things that are made of fabric or paper that have somehow survived, even if they're quite like moth-eaten or destroyed in many ways. There's a little girl's dress that is full of moth holes, and someone's passport, and in a glass box at the back, a family photo that has somehow survived. There's like it's faded beyond belief, but if you get in close, you can see two men standing with two little girls seated between them, all sort of like clasping each other, a happy family, and all the Fae are leaning in close.
Nice.
Ooh, nice.
I think that's all I have to say.
Yeah, it's great.
Pretty good.
Amanda.
Give me a second. Sorry, I dripped something here. What is this?
And it's cool.
It's cool.
It's cool.
Oh no, I messed up the world.
I don't know what that could mean.
It's all good. I
No,
fixed it.
not.
I fixed it.
Fix the whole world.
What the part I messed up, anyways. I can't fix the whole world. Okay, maybe
Fair.
next stream I'll work on that.
Yeah. There you go.
5 of clubs. 5 of clubs. So that is boop 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 boop. Boop, boop, boop. You see someone you used to know from your village who is now one of the Fae. Who were they in relation to you? What Fae attributes have they taken on, such as wings or antlers? Well, I think it's Hayes' sister.
Has to be.
Has to be. I think they were, in relation to me, a kind of confidant, because I feel like while Hayes struggled to connect with his sister, I think part of what brought me close to Hayes was actually really admiring his sister.
Yeah.
And I think we
Yeah.
both had this, like, even though Hayes was more cautious, we both thought his sister was really cool. And
Yeah.
she, I think, was a part of what brought us closer together, especially before she was gone. So, like, maybe Jerry and Hayes aren't quite as close as they used to be, but they had their moments.
Yeah.
Maybe they still do have their moments. Maybe this is about to be one of them, because I think Jerry sees her and notices that she looks exactly like... Does this your sister have a name?
Race.
Grace. She looks exactly like Grace, except that her hair is this very bright pink now.
Ooh.
And there's not really wings, but there's almost like, in the right light, it looks like there's an outline on, like, behind her, as though, like, there's a tracing of wings, but maybe they're so thin you can't actually see them. It's only when, like, the light catches them a certain way.
Interesting. Cool.
Yeah.
Does she look happy? Or not?
I think right now she's looking kind of frantic.
Interesting.
And I think it's because she is in the process of trying to set up a stall, but there is a goblin next to her who's arguing with her about, like, how the stall is set up, and is trying to be like, if, like, does anyone want to be this goblin, actually?
All face stalls have to be behind this line. All goblin stalls are behind this line, and all human stalls are behind that line. You're over it by 2 inches. I have stock to go there.
Well, I don't... This isn't... Look, it's my first time setting up a stall. This is why I didn't want to set up in this area, but they told me this was my spot. So I'll try to keep my stuff here, but when you say 2 inches, like, is it just 2 inches?
It's 2 inches.
And I think the goblin snaps a finger, and a little measuring fey that's exactly 2 inches tall lies down on the edge of the table, and the goblin's like,
See?
That's not 2 inches. That's definitely 3.5.
This is the 2-inch fey. And if someone says that's 3.5, you've been lied to by a lover. Now move your stuff.
What did the fairy just say?
I'm the 2-inch fey.
All right, 2-inch fairy, so you claim. Don't want people to know that you're... No, don't want people to know that you're taller than you are. I get it, but you need to work something. I'll move my stuff over here. And she starts, like, moving herself to the other side and kind of adjusting it. And is like, I'll just stay off this side. How about that? Then you can have this whole side. Okay, great.
I like that plan.
Great. I'm glad you like that plan. That's fantastic. And I think Jerry spots her and is just, like, watching this all happen and turns around. Does she see Hayes anywhere? What is Hayes doing?
I don't think he's there. Is that a refusal of the call? Should I
No. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I think she looks around for him but can't see him anywhere, and kind of, like, she's not sure if she should say hello or what the appropriate thing to do is. In lieu of that, she wanders over and starts to peruse Grace's wares.
Interesting.
Jerry?
Yeah, Grace?
I haven't been called that for I can't remember how long. Is it really you?
Did
you come to the island?
Yeah, we all swam over together. Me, Ella, and Hayes. I didn't expect to see you here.
Who are they again?
You don't remember Ella?
It's been a long time.
You don't remember Hayes?
The name's familiar.
Well, Ella is...
The goblin barks.
Don't give away memories for free to the Fae. That's valuable.
These were my memories once. She's just returning things that I lost.
Don't listen to her. She's Fae.
We're friends. Something the goblins don't know much about.
The goblin grumbles and turns back to a different customer.
We're friends, Jerry. You can tell me.
Right. How do you remember me, but you don't remember them?
I don't know. Some things have drifted from me.
Well,
Some things I hold on to, and when I saw your face, I remember.
well, maybe if you see their faces, you'll remember who they are. I mean, that might work better than me telling you. So,
That may be true.
I'll go get them and I'll bring them here. Just stay here. And I think Jerry runs off to go try to find Ella and Hayes in the hustle and bustle of the Goblin Market.
Goblin Market.
Goblin Market.
Goblin Market.
Do we flip a new card?
I was just wondering the same thing.
Or
I feel like if I flip a card, I can probably get creative with the prompt to make
we
it
can try
also
to make it
follow.
fit.
Yeah.
And if
we
it
can
doesn't, I've made a mistake.
We can see where it takes us. Maybe we don't get back to this moment. It's a confusing Goblin Market.
That's true.
I like that
is
it happened.
true.
Also, Tully, have a good night. And also, I'm sorry that things have been rough for you lately, but I'm very happy that the stream could bring some lightness into your life. You are great, and thank you for being here. And don't apologize for making things heavy. Goodness knows,
Thanks for dropping by, Tully.
we are the masters of sometimes making goofy things heavy. So
Yeah, that's the truth.
Sorry about that.
all emotions are welcome in this stream, so you are totally fine. Thank you for sharing those, and also, have good sleeps.
Yeah, have a good night.
Such a nice thing to say. Thank you. But also, sorry. That sucks.
All those things.
Yeah, all those things.
I drew a seven
A seven.
of clubs.
7 clubs.
And it says one of the Fey folk is crafting items at their display, sharing about their work as they create, and you feel drawn to learn from them. What is their craft? When we return to Grace, having frantically followed Cherry back to the stall, Grace is making, it's a demonstration of sorts. I think Grace is crafting something that is only useful for fairies.
Okay.
Um,
Memory repositories?
yeah, let's say that.
A candy can. I've heard of
Candy
these.
can.
Yeah, I was sent these by Michael. Thanks again, Michael.
Shout out to Michael.
Slowly been sipping them. I've only drank a couple, but ooh, they're so good. Anyways.
Ooh.
I was like, do I have a candy can? And then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have a candy can. Look at this. 3 calories.
The candy can has 3 calories.
0 sugars. 0
Dang.
fats. But a lot of sodium.
That's surprising.
I
That
know.
is surprising.
It
I
has
don't know why, but it surprises me.
9% of your daily value of sodium. Doesn't taste
Huh.
salty, but
I don't know what to make of that at all.
it's a mystery. I was sharing one with someone the other night, and they were like, "What is this?" And I was like, "That is the question. Probably a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
know.
flavoring, and and sweeteners. Yeah,
Must be some
sweeteners.
great artificial sweeteners.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kurt.
Yeah, so it's
No
a
caffeine. Caffeine free.
it's a small container. This is so specific, but when I was a kid, my grandfather chewed tobacco, and he had these they were small, light, little cylindrical containers, about I guess taller than a cookie, but about that wide.
Okay.
And I would play with the empty ones. I'd stack them into things.
Right.
Um,
Nice.
I feel like this memory repository container is about that size and shape. It's a small, short cylinder, which can be unscrewed, and then inside are kept. You pinch a little finger pinch full of memory, and you rub it into the scalp, I think.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, interesting. I think like here and there to the market, you can see like these like no, that's not what I want. These like sort of like rainbow silvery smudges on the heads of some fae who have been indulging over the course of the night.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Hayes has just encountered the sister, so I'm kind of curious what's happening here.
Hayes has stopped dead in his tracks about 20 feet away from the table.
One moment. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Jess and Co, for dropping by.
Thank you so much for the raid. Jess, thank you so much for the raid. Appreciate you. Whoa, what just happened? Welcome on in, raiders. Hello.
Raid.
Love to have you.
Raid.
Welcome on in, raiders. We are telling this fun little story. It's Goblin Market. It is a really, really, really cool indie RPG game where we are going to a goblin market where there are fairies and goblins, and we are playing these youthful, like late teens, early 20s kind of kids that have just come over to this market. There's a whole love triangle going on.
The whole thing.
It's a whole vibe, and there's lots of fun, angst, and romance. So if you like those things, stick around. Also, Jess, thank you so much. I'm going to give you a follow. I'm going to give you a shout out. How are you doing? What were you streaming? How was your stream? Thanks for coming in, everybody.
Let us know.
Yeah,
Let us know. All these things and more. Also, hi, Amanda Panda. How you doing? Yeah, welcome on in. And those that are in chat, if you guys want to give Jess a follow, always good. I'm assuming, Jess, that you are in the board game world, because
one
you
would
came in.
assume CCG is for collectible card game.
True.
And
That's
also
just a guess.
coming in with Amanda Panda. So nice to have you here. I do not follow enough CCG people, so I'm excited to check out your content.
Favor of the Pharaohs.
Chucking dice.
Favor of the Pharaoh?
Favor of the Pharaohs. Oh, that sounds.
Have you played that game?
I haven't played that game, but I love chucking dice, so I feel like I should play that game. Is it a new board game? Need to check it out.
2015 says Board Game Geek. Have you heard of it, Kurt?
2015.
Yes, but I have never played it.
You never played it. Okay.
Kurt notoriously is not usually a fan of dice.
It's different.
Well,
Wow.
Dice have their time and place.
That's mostly
Weirdly not present in today's game, which we
No.
are doing by drawing cards, which
Yeah.
have prompts.
Yeah.
For those who want to follow along, one of our characters' sisters has absconded to the Fey realm and is now here at
And
this
is-
goblin market on the solstice.
Is a fae, I would say.
Is a Fae.
Is
Is
a
a
fae.
Fae. Has become
Yes.
Fae.
And we just
She
ran
is
into her.
crafting memory tins to store memories, or perhaps to put them away. And
Hayes, who I'm playing, who is now 20, last saw her when maybe he was 14, and she left in the middle of the night to go to the Goblin Market. and bring back pies from the Feylands. And she
Spicy.
never came back. And so now Hayes stands sort of like stock still, 20 feet from this table where Ella and Jerry have sort of maybe rushed forward to see Grace, and Grace is there demonstrating the use of these memory tins, and Hayes is just staring. Does anybody want to be Grace?
I can
Probably can't
Grace,
be
yeah.
everybody. You want to be Grace?
I can be
I love you
Grace.
being Grace because that means now everybody's played Grace, which is great.
Oh, also, Jess, before you head out, or if you've already headed out, just want to say thanks again for the raid. And yes, do take a screen break, take care of yourself, do all the post-stream things. Thank you again for bringing everyone over here. I really appreciate it. And also, friendly new friends, welcome on in. And if you do like this, we do this every Monday. And I'm also a variety streamer, so if you like cosplays, if you like video games, if you like Pomodoro streams, ASMR, just chatting, baking, I do a lot of Legos, I do a lot of stuff.
Stream.
Yeah, that was my
I can't
Pomodoro
believe how
stream.
well
We
that
work
went.
together and we just chill, we focus for a bit, and then we chat for a bit, and I love watching those streams. So yeah, we do a lot of stuff here if you like stuff. Thanks for
And
coming
if you
in.
don't like stuff, that's fair.
That's
Who
fine.
would?
That's fine.
I hate stuff on streams.
Yeah.
Grace, your sister turned Fae, turns to I want to say turns to Jerry, Amanda's character, and says, "Is your friend okay? I see him over there, just standing."
Yeah, he's good.
Are you okay?
Yeah,
Jerry?
I'm great.
All right. And then she turns to a Fae and says, "This is genuine. It's lined with lead. They won't get out."
Slowly, Hayes walks like in a dream towards the table. The last time he saw her, she was a mirage. 100 fairies playing a trick on him, or so he thought, and doesn't trust it this time. He reaches the edge of the table and sort of right in the middle of this demonstration going on, he kind of just like walks right in. Grace? Grace?
Oh, careful. These aren't going to be super helpful for humans. You can't store things the same way and get them back.
Okay. Is that really you, Grace? Your hair is, and the wings are new. Is it you?
She points to Jerry. "This is one of your friends who knows me." "Hi. Yes, I was Grace. That was me."
You were
You know who I am?
Grace, or you?
She blows air into her cheeks and then lets it out. "Sorry. I'm sorry, because it seems like I should really know who you are." And the customer she was talking to, she kind of like waves them away, and the customer politely steps aside. She says, "You have to give a lot of things up if you want to be what I am now. And I'm sorry if one of those things was you."
So you don't remember me at all?
I don't think it would be better or easier if I lied to you right now.
Do you remember Mom? Do you remember Elena? Your mother?
Elena. That feels familiar.
Yeah. What about Paul? Remember Paul? Your dad?
I'm so sorry. I'm sure this is hard. I am in the memory trade, and that's something you can only get into by buying and selling memories yourself.
You sold me?
You're still here.
I know
So
that, but
am
you
I.
sold your memory of me. I was your brother, Grace. I'm your brother, Grace. And he smashes the tins off the table. I'm your
Hayes!
brother!
Well, it doesn't seem like you were a very good one. Don't do this. This is the solstice. This is a big night for us. God. And she starts picking up the tins, busying herself with those more than interacting with you.
Hayes, it's okay. She doesn't know what she's talking about. She doesn't remember. That's all.
I think Jerry, oh, yeah, Jerry maybe pulls him back from the table a little bit as they kind of like trying to like clean up, and the other Fae have sort of gone in there to pick up the tins. And, yeah. Jerry, I was scared that I'd never see her again. This is worse.
I know.
One time I saw her, but her physical form was just a trick,
What?
a ghost
You saw her?
from the beach. And I thought it couldn't get any worse than that. But now she's solid. And it's her mind. Her spirit, which is just a trick. A mirage.
Why didn't you tell me?
I didn't think it was real.
Oh.
And I didn't want you and Ella to worry. I know sometimes you talk privately about me
Not
and whether
about
I'm doing okay.
Not about that. I mean, Ella and I have we knew that Ella knew that Grace was gone, but we never really talk about Grace. That's I wouldn't talk about that. I wouldn't talk about that with Ella. That's
Ella rejoins you at this point.
Oh.
And there's a little bulge in her satchel.
Ooh.
She's bought a tin.
What it... I've got to go, guys.
Don't go, Hayes, don't go. Hey, this really sucks, but we can only come here twice a year, so...
Thank you for the posture check, Atomic Sorcery.
It's hard to be sad when my posture's good. I don't care. I don't ever want to come back here. And you shouldn't want to come here either. That Grace came here and that happened to her. There's nothing worth that happening to you.
Ella shrugs. She seems happy.
She's gone. I don't want to lose you guys as well.
Ella comes to you, gives you a hug, and her perfume is heady in your nostrils as she holds you. She says, "Don't worry. Don't worry."
Hayes lets himself relax. Finally, drops the tension in his shoulders and lets the tears out softly onto Ella's shoulder. His head
Try not to
brushes-
judge her too much. I'm sure there's things we'd all want to forget.
But not me. Why would you say that?
Sorry,
Why would you say that?
I wasn't thinking.
I would never want to forget you guys. I don't understand why you
Just
Fuck you.
Would you
Ella,
wanna-
wasn't-
fuck you.
I
Ella,
wasn't thinking.
Ella, I'm taking the flower back. I should never have given this to you in the first place. Fuck you.
Wait.
And Hayes walks off.
Wait. Hayes gave you a flower?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, Hayes gave me a flower.
What? You never told me that.
I only wore yours. It didn't matter.
What? That's not true. I saw you wearing a different flower. That was Hayes's flower. Yeah. You know what? Fuck you, Ella. Fuck you. And I think Jerry walks off too, crying in a different direction.
Oh, that's really good. That's really good.
What a scene.
And now I'm like,
Where are we?
now I'm like, do we draw more black cards or do we do our
Or we
like?
do
So glad you're enjoying it, Ricardo. Do you guys want to see if there's some kind of other resolution, or do we end it there? I mean, I think there might be one other resolution, but
If we go into Act 3, we're gonna like, as far as I understand, we're gonna like, sort of tell the
ending of the story,
but
right?
there's not space
Yeah.
for anything else to really happen. Maybe.
Yeah.
Act 3 really only asks if we eat the Fey food.
I think we need like at least one more round of cards. That's
Okay.
that's what I meant. I was
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
I think we need to do
I
like
see, I
three
see,
more
gotcha.
to resolve, not Act 3. 3 more cards to maybe see if there's a different resolution that we come to. But I also kind of love this as a resolution because that'd be a very dramatique way to end the story.
I think you're right. My story instincts tell me we need a little bit,
Like a little
of
more.
resolution.
Anthony,
just a tiny
if
bit.
you would draw.
We don't have to
All
all
right,
come
here we
back
go.
together, but something happens.
Also, guys, this is Cranberry's stream debut right now on the back mission there. I've been excited.
Cranberry.
Cranberry, you're famous now, Cranberry. Okay, I got distracted by cute cats. I have drawn a 3 of clubs. Interesting. The question is, what sort of things did you bring to the market to trade? I think we could have a scene where Hayes maybe buys something before the end here.
Okay.
There are many fairy. Oh, sorry, you're ready to play the character.
I was ready to be a
That's
fairy.
great. That's amazing.
Is
Yeah.
that where you were going with it? I felt like you were going to the
perfect.
fairies.
Go for it. Yeah, go for the fairies. Yeah.
I noticed that you were perusing my wares. Says I think a slender, I think a male fairy who is quite tall and has kind of a mischievous look about him.
Hayes's face is tear swept and stained, but he has determination in his eyes now. You sell memory devices, right? I can read it in the old font.
Yes. Of a sort. These are special memory devices. I've been selling here for a long time, and they're not quite like some that others might sell. You have a good eye.
Yeah, I can read a lot of things. Do you have any that can extract memories?
Well, I have some that can destroy memories, some that can change memories, and that's where these items are a little bit different. But if you want something extracted, I might have a device.
Destroy is fine.
Destroy is fine. Well, then, yes, I do happen to have what you're looking for. And he pulls out a... It almost looks like a sewing kit. Except that instead of there being thread, there is what appears to be these little beads. Beads, pins, and a needle.
Can you do it now?
Oh, well, you want me to... Well, it's usually something you would do yourself, but I could assist if this is your first time destroying a memory, I suppose.
I've never done it.
What is it that you have to trade me for this? Because, you know, assisting someone in destroying a memory, well, it can leave its own mark in a way. That's why most people do it themselves.
Well, he reaches out. His hand has been clutched beneath the table and reveals a slightly crushed, dried flower. A lover's token. Scorned.
Scorned. Ooh, that is pretty valuable. That would cover the cost of the equipment. Do you have anything else, though? Because for me to assist you, I'm going to need a little bit more.
Okay. And, I don't know, Hayes brings out a small wooden box from the bag that he's been carrying. It's wrapped in waxed paper to keep it dry from the water.
I think the fairy automatically, his eyes almost like lock onto it. Oh, what is that? That is quite the item.
I didn't bring it to sell. I thought that maybe someone could do some magic or I don't know. And he cracks open the box, and the Fae from across the table can see ashes spread across the bottom of the box.
I see. Wow.
I don't know. Can your people bring back someone who's lost?
The Fae, while we can prolong life, we can even change life to an extent. We cannot give what is already gone. There needs to be life for us to work our magics. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Lane. I didn't mean to do this. It's not what I was planning, but the remains of a friend.
Well, that is quite something that you'd be offering. I mean, a whole soul, in a way. This is an acceptable offer. I could... Whatever memories you need destroyed, I'm more than willing to assist you. And I'll even throw in this as a bonus. Now this is a memory preserver. If there's ever a memory that no matter what happens to you, you want to hold on to it. Now these are rare. This will preserve it for you. Because this is quite the trade. So, and he takes the ashes and he puts them underneath the table, watching as all the other fairies seem to kind of look away then, but he can tell that they're waiting for a moment for him to walk away. Someone might snatch those up. It's pretty valuable.
Hayes reaches out and takes the memory preserver and its careful glass and sets it carefully in his bag in exchange. Okay. I'd like you to remove somebody. Two somebodies, actually.
Interesting. Okay, well, I can do that. You need to focus on...
Hayes steps behind the table and sits down beside the Fae. I think that's the end of the scene.
Okay. All right, sorry, it's my turn.
Amanda's turn.
I was having too much fun playing Fae Market Man number 3.
It was the role you were born for.
He was great. 9 of clubs for me. Let's see.
Spades.
Oh, sorry, 9 of spades. Yes, you're correct. That's my hissing to announce that this is the question. You find an item for trade that looks like a basic enough item, but you can sense the magic in it. What is it, and what do you think the magic does? I think it is a basic enough item. I think it's a broom. But I feel like it can fly?
Sure.
Sick.
It might not quite be as good as getting behind one of the wheels of those ancient vehicles, but sure could go fast, and it sure could go far.
True. Is Jerry interested in buying it?
I think Jerry sees the broom and senses what it might be. And she goes to ask the person selling it. I wonder if this person is actually just a human.
Oh.
We haven't really counted any humans sell things at this market too, right?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is a person. A scrapper from out in the fields. Yeah, I think he nods his chin up at you and says, "See something you like?"
This broom isn't just a broom, is it?
He smiles. No. No, it sure isn't. It flies. I don't know if it's a magic thing or some old piece of tech, but it shoots off like a lightning bolt.
You don't happen to have a car, do you? Like a working car, I mean?
He grins now. Oh, bit of a gearhead, huh?
Yeah.
You know, what do you need it for?
I just wanted to drive. My great, 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 great grandmother used to race motorcycles back when people, drove. So anyways, I would just like to be free, I guess.
Yeah. No, I get it. Back home, it's not too far from here. We did manage to get one working, and you know what? I can't let you take it out for a spin by yourself, but if you're free sometime, maybe you'd come with me?
Well, I mean, like, how far is it?
Just out in the bronze fields. The Scrappers. You never met anyone from there?
No, I don't get out much. Jerry immediately feels like an idiot saying that. But, I mean, maybe if I had a way to get there, I mean, how much is this broom anyways? What are you looking for it?
I mean, it's pretty nice, but I'm not looking for anything freaky like the Fae. If you have anything useful, really, I'd trade for it.
Anything useful? And I think Jerry pulls out some goggles.
Hey. Ooh, these are nice. Old, too.
Yeah, they're, well, they've been in my family for a long time. I kinda took them. I was gonna return them.
Say no more. It's all right. I won't tell anyone if this is what you brought to barter.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't gonna barter them, but
It's all right. Here, take the broom. I'm gonna take these for now, but I'll give them back to you if you come visit. Does that sound like a deal?
yeah, all right. That sounds like a deal.
All right.
Thanks.
Don't be a stranger.
Okay, I won't.
I think he puts them in his pocket and has a little cocked half smile.
I think Jerry takes the broom and kind of walks away, but looks back over her shoulder at him before she walks off. Scene.
And that leaves us with one more scene, perhaps.
It is... Someone was waiting for this. It's an ace of spades.
Ooh. The ace of spades. The ace of spades. What does the ace of spades do?
You find an item that looks ancient.
Well, it's actually the ace of clubs.
Oh, is it? I just pulled Amanda's. I swear that just happened to Amanda.
Oh my gosh. The ace of clubs. Also good.
Ace of clubs.
Not as musical, but...
Doesn't have a song, no. If you like that song, check out Lisa LeBlanc's cover, because that's my favorite version.
There you go.
But it's neither here nor there. The Ace of Clubs reads, describe one Fae being here tonight who you feel drawn to in some way.
What is
Juicy.
happening? Oh my.
I think we see one more scene with one more little glimpse with Ella and Grace.
Yeah.
And Grace doesn't really recognize Ella either, but Grace shows Ella how to do it. That one way pull. Ella's already bargained for the tin. And we see just a strand of sorts being pinched, being placed into the tin.
Oh, being drawn from Ella.
Yeah. And you hear it as it gets pulled out. Like a really... If you've ever turned on a record player and listened real close, you can hear the sounds as the needle drags across it. Unamplified, raw, but still there, just a quiet vibration. And what a horrible sound it is as it's pulled from Ella's mind. That scream all the way down that cliff top. And Ella yelling from the top, I'm sorry, but it was too late. So, each of our characters has a choice to make. Do they eat the Fey food, becoming one of the Fey folk, bound to their realm forever, never able to stray for long? It's the witching hour that draws near. That barrier in front of the Fey food is gone, and mortals are invited to join the feast if they would. What does everyone do?
I think that what draws Jerry in most is this piece of Fey fruit she's never seen before. The colors of it just seem like they are shimmering all at once. Like it's a fruit that's made out of light. But then she thinks about Grace. And even though she's mad at Ella right now, she thinks about her friends who she loves, each in their own way. And she thinks about her life. And even though she knows it's not great, she's not ready to give it up. So she's gonna resist the temptation. Resist.
Hayes wanders through the market in a bit of a daze and is drawn to the table. At one end, there are the most beautiful pies you've ever seen laid out. Some small, like tarts, some large and elaborate with incredible interlaced pastry on top of it. It looks so flaky, so incredible, so crisp on the outside, and the smells, both savory and sweet, are alluring beyond anything he's ever sensed. He's not sure why he's drawn to the pies. Almost as if there's something far away that reminds him of it, but he can't place his finger on it.
Oh.
There's a woman sitting across the table, eating pies. There's a big smile across her face as she eats with her friends. Her shadow-like wings flare behind her. Her bright pink hair cascades down her shoulders. She has a welcoming and familiar face. Are they good? Hayes asks. Are they as good as they seem?
Yeah, they're amazing. I'd do anything to eat one.
Anything? I'm immortal. I'd leave everything behind if I ate it. It can't be that good, right?
If I was mortal, I'd probably do it. They're really good.
And they do smell so good. I don't know. I mean, when I think about it, I mean, what's waiting for me behind me? I have one friend. I watched the other one die, and there's no love in my life. There hasn't been. Is it better to be a fae?
It's good and it's bad. I miss some things, but I mean, I'd show you around if you wanted.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
You've been here for a bit. You know the way around?
Yeah. You seem nice. I'd help you out. No, I'm not, to be clear, not like that. Just, you know, I like to help people out.
Yeah, well, you seem like you guys have good friends. Just feels like what I've been missing.
She raises a piece of the pie as a kind of toast.
Cheers.
Ella walks through the market and smells rich scents on the breeze. Delicate petals of lavender, rich steeped stamens of saffron, and other scents all mixed up together in a bouquet. And Ella shrugs, starts walking back towards where that line blurs. She has a new bow on her back, and well, it'd be a shame if she couldn't go back to the village. It's nice. She and her two friends, I don't know why I said three, always used to come here, and it's a special place, but she's got a destiny ahead of her. She's got to be better than that Fletcher. And as she turns to see Hayes taking a bite of that pie, she shakes her head and thinks, there'll be another after him. Heads back to the village. Epilogue. 1 month later, if you stayed, how do you feel about the decision? Would you eat the food next time? If you left, same question. How do you feel about your decision? How has being in the Fey realm changed you? I don't think I have anything more to say about Ella's story.
Hayes is quickly adopted. And he feels, I think, more at home than he has before at first. And then the allure of the memory market calls to him. There's so many beautiful things in the Fey realm, and they can be purchased so easily for the freshly born Fey who comes into this world rich beyond imagining, laden with memories that everyone wishes they could have. He's the prettiest girl at the ball, and it's too soon that he starts to sell them all away. His mother, his father, and he doesn't remember much of the world that came before. But he's happy. He thinks he's happy. And there's one memory he holds on to. One memory to ground him, that he will promises he never sells. One that he keeps in the crystal box. The memory keeper that he bought that day at the market. 3 friends playing on a cliffside before one of them falls.
I mean, I had something kind of, but I feel like my story spoke for itself, and that's such a good note to end it on that I think I'm just gonna let it lie there.
Cool. Then let's call it. That's our story.
That's a story.
Woo.
That was a good one, guys. That was fun.
That was a really good one. Dang. It got dramatic. There was such a boiling point in that story.
Yeah. I don't know how many of our stories have like clear, like, you know, in school when you learn about the shape of stories and it's like,
Yeah.
well, there's rising action and then there's a climax and then there's falling action.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of our stories actually genuinely follow that structure, but we nailed it tonight. We had a perfect climax, falling action, conclusion.
I'd say like at least 30% of our stories have like a pretty defined, like clearly defined climax that we come down from. But yeah, it's not always that clean. This was real clean. This was the 30%. This was climax to the max, you know? It was, wow. I wasn't expecting it to be that dramatic, and yet just 3 friends going to the Goblin Market, and then it got so twisted.
Yeah, it's great. So
How does a casual trip to the Goblin Market go so
Just
wrong?
A normal trip to the Goblin Market.
We just wanted to go to the Goblin Market, and all of a sudden it was like we brought each other's things to trade away. We were like, maybe these people, I could just forget about them. What if I just became a fairy? What if I just run away from all of my problems? And I'm like, wow. Y'all really need some therapy. This story. These characters need some assistance, I think. But you know, what else? What's the Goblin Market for? Exactly, working out those problems.
That's what it's for. That's what they always say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
One thing I realized after it had happened, Kurt, I think you bought the memory tin, and we'd already hinted that you had 2 flowers with you, and so probably it would have made sense if you had traded the second flower for the memory tin, and it would have been just as good if we realized that the flower was gone. But I thought about it too late. Did that happen in your mind? Did you know that the other flower was already traded?
Would have gone that route if we hadn't done what you did, but what you did was so good, so why not?
Man, yeah. DiCarlo was saying Ella is Regina George. I would say that, like, I don't think Ella's that savage, but Ella was a little savage. I kind of loved it though. Like,
Ella was a little savage.
I like that Ella had the confidence to just be like, this is how it goes.
Well, I also like, Kurt, that you allowed yourself to play like an almost villain. I don't know, maybe you don't think about it that way, but like I don't feel like we often like allow ourselves to play characters that are like actually kind of despicable.
I think really the trick for this one is that I often go all villain if I go villain and turn them into like genuinely cruel people. Whereas in this case, I feel like Ella was not kind and not good, but also not
needlessly cruel. She I think just was, she's just Ella. She's like, this is my priority, and that's, you know, I think she just was a little bit clearer about what she wanted out of life, you know? That was her focus.
You also think about Ella as somebody who had been, you know, separated and adopted and without connections. Having like a strange sense of connection to other people kind of makes sense. Those connections being temporary or disposable, that seems understandable in some ways.
I gotta echo DiCarlo. When you both decided to use that one scene to have both Ella's callousness and Ella's using, I guess, just turn into fuck you Ella in the same scene, that was a good scene.
That was really good. That was so cool.
Yeah, that was a great scene. That scene was epic. I think the other thing too about that is that sadly no throuple for us this time. I was a little sad about that. Didn't really work out. Just didn't feel like that's where the story was going. Yeah, I wish, but it felt, you know, I just felt like the energy, especially with Ella kind of being like, I don't know, like kind of feeling like she was a little sneaky. I was like, this might not end well. I'm glad we kind of went there with it though, because it does feel like, yeah, I think that maybe Jerry could have been fine with it if everyone was very open, but clearly this was more of the story of, we all have feelings for each other, but no one really talks about their feelings because we're all going through a lot. Maybe.
Yeah.
Also, Ricardo, thank you so much for the kind words about the story. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I feel like it would be really cool if we could get someone to illustrate our stuff sometime. I definitely think there's some stories that we've done. You know, I was just thinking about this. You know how there's Love, Death, and Robots, and there's like the Visions, Star Wars Visions, and Marvel What If, and all of that stuff. I was like, this would be a great, like how we have like D&D animated series that are based off of like Critical Role campaigns, like that, the whole thing happens. What if we did something like with that? Like if I ever have the money to put into this, I think it'd be a really cool creative project to do something inspired by our favorite one-shots that we've done, and then we like write a script, and then we have that animated, and then it's like, you know, each episode is its own story, so it's like a little anthology of like RPGs, because no one ever does anything like that with RPGs. It's all campaign based, so
Sure.
that'd be cool.
It would take several $1 million.
It would take
a single episode, but
yeah, it would take a lot of money
it's a cool idea
and time. But if I ever have the resources, or if that is ever a thing where we have enough of an audience that we could crowdfund it, then that would be super cool. I do know some people that animate, but you know.
Okay, we'd have to wait for multi-millionaire Amanda to
sweep in and make that happen. But I think it would be so cool. Or like, if
Give her
anyone's
a
watching that's a patron of the arts, and you think this would make a cool story, and you happen to have millions of dollars, I would be down to talk about that, because I think that would actually be super cool. Jaden Animations does stuff like that. I'll have to check them out. Jaden Animations. They do like little one-shot like not D&D, but like RPG. I mean, it could be D&D. You can do a one-shot in D&D.
Yes, you are allowed.
Oh,
Is
I have
Jaden
seen
Animations
Jaden
not maybe the most famous YouTube
Oh, I was gonna say,
animator
I
that
have seen it,
exists?
but I haven't. It's JAI, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do know Jaden Animations.
So Carla, why does getting him a Smosh help us here?
Yeah.
Is that the ticket to multi-millionaire?
I don't know. Does Smosh animate stuff? I was watching some Smosh
so.
this weekend. We were talking about Smosh. I was just
This
talking about
weekend?
Smosh.
You were just talking Smosh?
2024?
This weekend that just happened.
Sure, it'll
2024.
I watch Smosh all the time. It's actually crazy.
Man, we were just watching it, and we were just talking about what if we did like how Smosh does their, make you laugh. You have 30 seconds to make someone laugh. And Duck was like, we should do this on the channel. This would be so fun. And I'm like, this would be fun. And actually, we could do that. And actually, I know a bunch of people that would probably be down to shoot that.
That's cool.
It'd be fun.
Fun idea.
Yeah, I was like, I know a bunch of performers. We could totally do this. So, yeah, maybe that'll happen. I don't know
I
if
always wanted to have a live illustrator on one of these streams, and to do illustration on the fly while you're telling stories, like do up little sketches of the characters as you create them and stuff.
I feel like something like that we
cool.
could probably afford, because that would be, I think, a bit more reasonable. You could probably pay someone like a few $100s to do that for you. And we have friends that are illustrators, so maybe.
Sure, exactly.
There's a few people I could ask, be like, would you do this? What could I pay you for this? So yeah, try not to laugh. Yes, thank you, DiCarlo. Yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for joining us, everyone. This was phenomenal. Kurt, you just found this game right before.
Yeah, at 6:45.
Oh my gosh, this is such a fantastic game that you just found at 6:45.
It was the right game.
Had you heard of it before, or literally brand new to you?
No.
Wow. How did you find it? Did you search
Fast.
game fast, me no time?
Yes, yeah, that's what I did.
Uh,
I'm not
Atomic
going to give
Sorcery.
away my game finding secrets.
Atomic Sorcery, I can't wait to see the fan art. Yes, please do
Yeah,
share with us
heck
in the
yeah.
Discord. And that's hilarious that this is... I don't even know. Was this recommended or you just found it, though?
he's not going to reveal his secrets.
No, I was just teasing. Many great games are in bundles, and if I need to quickly decide what game I'm playing for a lunchtime session or perhaps a last-minute pivot because Kurt didn't properly read his 180-page rulebook,
180, oh no.
it's a useful way to browse through games that have common visions.
Right,
Cool.
right, because they come in a group. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Well, this was a great one. I'm very glad that we played this. It's one of my favorite, I think, that we've played.
It was a great story. I'm going to tag game one more time. If you want to try this out for yourself, it is available on itch.io. It is on sale right now. And for 25% off, again, it's Goblin Market. And it is also available in the ttrpgs for Trans Rights, West Virginia. You can get this game and 528 more for $5.
And get it.
528.
You heard me.
That's
Yeah.
a big old bundle.
Uh-huh.
For $5.
$5, yeah.
And you get to support a
1
good
cent
cause.
a game.
Is that what's
Yeah.
up? That's
It's
a
a
crazy
crazy
good deal.
market price.
That's a crazy.
Yeah, you heard me.
You would never get a deal
Wow.
like that at the Goblin Market, I feel like. That's a bargain.
That's
It
true.
includes excellent games like Contact by Jay Stroutman, who is a Toronto-based designer, and Contact is I believe, playlist-based alien contact game. It includes games like Tangled Blessings by Cassie Mothwin, who is a force in the industry. It includes games like Songbird 3 by Snow, who also famously did Anthony. What did Snow do? Bats? Lila, I didn't want to have to say it because I don't know how to say it.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I can't remember how to say it either.
Lilancolly.
Melancholy. That's
Lilancolly.
Why does
Yeah.
every RPG designer have such a cool name? Like they have awesome names.
I think Snow has an unfair advantage because I believe Snow picked her name, which
That's
is,
true.
I mean,
good way to
pick
cool
pick
name.
a cool, but not everybody picks cool names,
Sure.
and Snow
Yeah.
has picked a great one.
I'm going to plug this link in the chat for y'all in case you guys wanted to check out the bundle. Because I think that's pretty nifty. And also, apparently there's there's a lot of good games in there. That's really cool. Nom de plume.
Maybe that's why they have cool names.
It's true. You could scroll through for hours and just keep finding amazing games, but I scrolled through for minutes and found an amazing game, and that should say it all.
What was I gonna say about this? I would say that we should play a campaign of this game, but I really feel like this is one of the few times that, as much as I think this is one of my favorites, I don't think this game is a campaign game. I think this is, you go to the Goblin Market, that's it. And that's the defining moment, you know? So,
Well, I am.
but I would play
so
this
sorry,
again
guys.
with new characters.
Okay, all right. You saved it. I was about to say that's the end of the Indie RPG stream team because we've just been waiting to find a game that Amanda doesn't want to play again. But
Yeah, I do want to
no
play it
campaign.
again.
She doesn't
Just
want to
not
play
as a
again.
campaign.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
On a technicality, we are still good, but that does signal the end of the stream.
It does.
When Amanda
good.
says that she wants to play it again.
Indeed.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
And we said nice things about. Did we say nice things about Kestrel Elliott?
You know what?
Made a
We
great
did not
game.
spend enough time saying nice things about Cosplay yet.
That's true.
But Kestrel
Designer of the
Elliott,
game.
great designer, great game, good job.
Beautiful game, incredible, so simple and sweet, but was exactly where we needed it to be and asked all the right questions. It was amazing.
GG.
Amanda, do you have anything you would like to plug?
Oh yeah, I guess I should do that. I'll be back here on. When will I be back?
Sure.
I'll be back on Wednesday on Twitch. I'm gonna be packing my bags for Phoenix Fan Fusion. Come on down and say hello and watch me pack my bags and help me pack my bags if you feel so inclined. And then I will also be on Tuesday. Next Tuesday. Not this Tuesday. Next Tuesday. I'll be back. We'll do another Pomodoro and just chatting stream where I work, and hopefully we'll finish my taxes, or if I've already done those, I'll probably just do some other work. There's always work to be done. And yeah, we'll do a little Pomodoro, get some work done, and chat in the interim if you are into that. And then next Wednesday I'll be back where we're going to be talking comics and Doctor Who with Uptown Duck. For the YouTubes, I will be back next Wednesday. Next Tuesday, actually. I lied in the schedule. I will be back next Tuesday where we'll just be doing the Pomodoro, because the packing stream, I can only stream it on Twitch. So, gotta go there to check that out. All right?
Nice.
Hope that's cool with you, because that's what's happening. All right. That's it, y'all.
That's it.
Lies.
Anything you want to tell people, Kurt?
Sure. Yeah. At some point in June, I'm going to be kickstarting my award-winning puppet RPG.
That's the award.
That's the award.
I love it.
Called Sock Puppets. And if playing with a bunch of puppets with your friends and saying ridiculous nonsense sounds like a good idea to you, then maybe give the campaign a follow. I'm dropping a link in the chats, and you can also just search up.
Sorry, I turned off links because I was getting a bunch of people dropping links. Let me turn that back on for you.
Don't worry about that. You can just search up RPG sock puppets on Google or your search engine of choice.
Here, I'll drop a link for you. On itch.io?
Nope, it's a Kickstarter. It hasn't happened yet, but you can click to be notified when it goes live.
Oh,
wow,
I see it.
Is there a specific date that it goes live?
June, so
June.
No.
Okay.
But probably June, yeah.
Cool. Super cool.
A tabletop RPG about sock puppets? No, sock puppets by Kurt. Why are there 2 sock puppet things? What the heck?
Sock puppet RPGs?
There's 2 sock puppet RPGs. So bad.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know, but there's 2 of them. But this is the one that you want to check out. I mean, maybe also check out the other one. I don't know. Might also be good. Maybe check out that
Oh, I
too.
see.
Yeah.
Yes, so there is For Socks Need Not Feet, which I have not played and am not familiar with. But I'm sure they did great.
I'm sure it's good. But this other one we know is great because we've played it on this stream and it was hilarious. I can confirm.
Yeah, it was great.
It was fantastic.
Do Kickstarter that stream. The game, whatever.
Is there anything that you would like to plug, Anthony?
Nope. Just
All
happy
right.
to be here.
All right.
Right.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us. We'll be back at some point. Stay tuned. Not next Monday, but soon.
But sometime.
Sometime.
In the near future. We'll see you again. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Yeah.
Good night, all.
Thanks for sticking around.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Stay nerdy and sleep if it's time for you to sleep. Bye.